injured in an accident, you need a lawyer, and you deserve an advocate. Because every accident has a ripple effect. It affects your time, your health, your ability to make money, everything. That's where the advocates can help. Speaking with an attorney is simple and 100% free. We're available 24/7 for your convenience, and we'll take on the claims process so you can rest easy. Because you're not just a client to us, you're a person, and you deserve the best help you can get. You deserve an advocate.
This is the Monty Show, the truth in sports talk streaming. When you want unbiased opinions about your favorite team without the spin, all you have to do is find the Monty Show, streaming live and available 24 hours a day, 7 days a week on YouTube. And now, here's Monty.
Hey, the Monty Show. It is finally here. It is Thursday, April 24th, 2025. The NFL draft takes place 3 hours from right now. We have a lot of NFL drafts coming up. Who's going to shock the NFL draft world? I've got 3 teams you should watch, and I think there is going to be a ton of trades today in the NFL draft. All of that coming up. BYU is cheating, and it has to stop. We've got to talk about that today because I mentioned it for 10 seconds last night, and it turned into this whole all these BYU players and former players DMing me,
venom and vitriol,
telling me, "Oh, it's embarrassing," and stop. This whole thing with BYU and whether or not they're cheating, and just make it go away. Because I got news for you. If your team is not, if your university is not talking to other players on other rosters, you're doing it wrong. And I had one person yesterday tell me that it is a scandal. It's a scandal. Really? It's a scandal. We'll talk about that after I remind you, excuse me, today, we're going to cough more. Today is the day. We need $600 between now and 2.5 hours from now, really is what that's going to come down to. We're going to give you a $100 Amazon gift card. Well, 2 of you are going to win an $100 Amazon gift card. I'm happy to break those up for $50 Amazon gift cards. Maybe your mom needs something. Like, I totally get it.
Dilly.
Whatever you need, let's get it done. And it all goes to feed hungry kids. I am telling you as surely as I am sitting here that kids right now today around this country are hungry. They don't know where they're going to get their next meal. They don't know how they're going to get their next meal. When you have the weekends and then here we are, the 24th of April, summer break is coming. How are those kids going to eat without a school meal program? Well, it's because of people like the Murray Children's Pantry, who puts together weekend bags so the kids have food over the weekend. They put together boxes for families so that parents can feed their kids. That's where your donations are going. And I implore you, if you have it in your heart, you have it in your wallet, get on Venmo today. Today is the day. $1, $5, $100, whatever you have. Today is the day. I implore you, get on Venmo. Advocates donations on Venmo. Screenshot that donation. The memo section will determine the winner. Anything you want in the memo section, as long as it says Monty, M-O-N-T-Y. As long as it says Monty in the memo section on Venmo, you take a screenshot after you make the donation, you send it to Jake via DM on Instagram. SLC Jake. SLC Jake with an underscore at the end right here. You see this little underscore right here? SLC Jake on Instagram is where you send your donation. Let's get this done today. $600. I know it seems like a lot. 2 weeks ago, we did $1,400 in about an hour on this show. It can be done. It can be done. Your $1, your $5, your $10 makes a huge difference to the life of a kid who doesn't have his next meal. her next meal, their next meal. Let's make that stop today. Get on Venmo. All right. Early shout outs before we get to BYU. Lopes fan Gabe, hello. Yes, please hit the like button. It really makes a difference on the show when you hit the like button. Mr. Preston, hello. I talked about you on the show yesterday, Mr. Preston. I said if you're going to buy an EV, it's got to be a Toyota or a Lexus.
Mm-hmm.
I only know that. Excuse me. I only know that because Mr. Preston's the automotive guru on the show.
The Monty mechanic.
You need a mechanic? Mr. Preston's our personal mechanic. Nacho Libre, hello. Joseph Harper, hello. The button has been liked, Gabe. Good job. Appreciate that. Gabriel, afternoon, Monty. Hope you guys cover the first picks of the draft today. We will. Absolutely. Are you guys excited about the NFL draft? I think we need to continue this Shedeur Sanders conversation because it is incredible to me to listen to all the talking heads. He's great. Shedeur's amazing. They're going to pick him no earlier than 21st. He's amazing, though.
Yeah.
And they're talking about how Shedeur's going to slide, and Shedeur is this, and Shedeur is that. And it's crazy to me they heap all of this praise. Oh, he's going to be one of the sliders. He's falling down draft boards. I believe Colin Cowherd said that he was plummeting down draft boards today. Do you buy that?
I don't buy it. What I buy is that everyone's talking about him, which means he's going to get drafted. And I think he's going to get drafted early. I think that he is universally respected as a great quarterback in this draft. Yes. Does he have, concerns just like any other prospect? Sure. That's the whole point of this process, right? You're trying to get into the best football league in the world, and people are trying to pick you apart. So that's part of this process. And I think, I think that, now with the advent of social media and just like the way we consume content, like now everyone just gets lost in, hey, well, he's terrible here and he's bad there. And like, you've got Orlovsky doing tape breakdowns of where his shortcomings in his game are versus, where he's, good in his game. And like, so I think that it was inevitable. It was one of if there was a prize picks line on, Shedeur Sanders, sliding in the draft or like the media narrative that he was going to slide in the draft, I'd have been all over that because I think was super predictable that it was going to happen. He's Prime's kid. What did you think was going to happen? Did you think that this was going to be, just everyone loves you and it's perfect and there was never going to be any negativity? Of course there was. So the good news for Shedeur, if you believe everything that you're hearing, is he's definitely getting drafted tonight. He's going to be drafted no later than 21 by the Steelers, allegedly.
Allegedly.
And that's where he'll go to thrive. That's what I feel like a lot of people are talking about. But I just grow tired of oh man, well, it's Prime's kid and shouldn't have the number retired and now he's going to slide in the draft.
Do you think that's a narrative in the NFL or do you think that's just a narrative amongst fans? Because I don't believe that the Cleveland Browns are going to pass on Shedeur Sanders because he's Prime's kid or because of daddy ball. I just don't believe that's true. I think Shedeur Sanders, frankly, the biggest knock I have on him, he holds the ball too long.
Yeah, and I think he's got a lot of tape of him doing that, and I also think he made that adjustment this past year, and I think he's improved in that area. But listen, I mean, we've got loads of time today to break down who Shedeur is, who Cam Ward is, who these guys are, and we'll do that. But I think this conversation about the media and this whole idea of certain Twitter accounts putting out anonymous sources saying, oh, well, he's terrible, worst interview I've ever done. Like, and they're hiding behind, I'm an anonymous GM in the NFL. Like, I just don't buy it. I don't believe that GMs spend their time during draft week hating on certain guys. I think if you don't like a guy, you're not going to put a ton of effort into him. You're going to be focused on the guys that you really care about and you really want to try to draft, because that's what we do as human beings. We don't give a damn about the guy that we think sucks, right? If we're a GM or we're a front office guy and our job is to build a football team. I just don't think that front office executives who are in this every day are going to sit here and leak bad, sentiment about a player just for fun or just because they want to.
I think there's a lot of spin that happens, but we'll get into that. Today is about feeding hungry kids. First one in today,
Brandon Butler,
$132. He went with the old 1320K fan.
The sports leader.
Brandon Butler, first one in from Monty Show for the hungry kids and backpedaling IPF for on stage and his wife. Well, there you go. There you go. Brandon Butler. So if we need $600 today, we are now down to $468.
Come on.
That's what we need today because Brandon Butler got us off to a hot start. Fantastic. We are trying to raise $1,000 this week. We are down to $468. Brandon, appreciate you. A long time listener.
First time commenter.
Really appreciate you donating to the show, you guys. Advocates on Venmo. 100% of your donation goes right to feed hungry kids. Jim Brass, who is with the Murray Children's Pantry, is going to join us coming up here in a while because I want you guys to hear what they're doing. We're now just $468 away, and I can't tell you how impactful. I just, the difference is probably the right word. The difference that this $468 will make in the life of kids. I just can't. Yeah. I can't tell you. So I ask you humbly, get on Venmo, make your donations, take a screenshot, and let's help feed hungry kids. I think it is one of the most important things that we do. Jim Brass, the president of the Murray Children's Pantry, will join us coming up here in about 45 minutes. Stick around for that. And without further ado, why don't we get to the BYU story? Because I think this involves everybody's favorite university. And I have to tell you, my frustration with this nonsense, and this is pure nonsense. Let's just get this out of the way. BYU has done nothing wrong. BYU is not cheating. BYU is not operating outside of norms or regulations. This is what college sports is. And if you listen to the headlines, what you hear is BYU is cheating. They're approaching our players. They're under agreement. I will candidly tell you, I spoke to 4 former BYU athletes. 2 graduated, 1 did not graduate from anywhere, and another went to another school in the state of Utah. And you would not believe how many of them are divided. How many in those 4, they are completely divided about how BYU is going on and handling recruiting. Because I got news for you. BYU is, from what I understand and what I've been told, is approaching players on other rosters. Their collectives, their emissaries, their representatives are out recruiting. BYU itself, Tom Homo's not out calling anybody. Kalani's not approaching players on other rosters. But nobody's doing that. What's happening now, and what I believe, in my opinion, that BYU is doing, is they're using their collective and they're using the people that support BYU to recruit players on other rosters, which is happening in every other university in this country. And if it's not, you're behind the curve. Here's the problem that people have with BYU. They've got money, and they've got more money than you've got. And a lot of people don't like that. I'm a Notre Dame fan. I wish that we were recruiting the way that BYU is recruiting. I wish that Notre Dame gave a rat's ass about college basketball and would be making the effort that BYU is making in college basketball. Now, the other thing you need to get clear is, do I like this? I do not. I think if a kid commits to a school, he should be off limits. But they're not. And there's no rule that says they are. And there's no law that says they are. Remember, we're in this free market society now, in this system, the wild, wild west, and the kid has a right to make money, and it's capitalism. Well, if the kid's got a right to make money, he also has the right to turn his phone off. If a kid doesn't want to hear from other universities, he can block them on email. He can Like, there's ways to do this. It's technology. They're 20-year-old kids. They know more about technology than we do. I am going to say this until most Ute fans drop dead. BYU is doing nothing wrong. And Jake, frankly, like I said, if your university's not doing what BYU's doing, you're probably not winning the games that BYU is and is going to win.
Yeah, and that's why you're upset. And I think that, it's a good point. I think that, BYU has always been this institution that people hate on because they're having some level of success. And I think, people like to pick on BYU. BYU seemingly is always in the center of things through no fault of their own. And I just think that because BYU's had a lot of success lately in basketball, they obviously have been doing well in football. Through that process, you're going to get more attention. And so, people out here talking about how they're, like this whole drama last week about how, anonymous sources are saying that BYU's going after kids on Utah's football roster. And let's surmise all that's true. Well, you know what? Like, I agree. This is what we do now. This is how it goes now. Oh, well, hey, he's committed to this school. Well, we better back channel and figure it out. We got to get in contact with him if we want an opportunity. I just don't understand why this is such a unique, like people are making this out like BYU somehow is the only one doing this allegedly, that BYU has like broken some, line in the sand that none of us would ever do. Right, that they did something that was just so outlandish that nobody else would ever consider doing. And it does come back to the point of you don't like BYU because they live life a certain way. You don't like BYU because they happen to have a really strong donor base and people who are engaged in their athletic program. And because of that, they're winning more ball games. So you cannot like it. But to accuse them of cheating or that it's some scandal, this is child's play, dude.
Yes.
This is schoolyard recess crap, dude. Like, at some point, you need to stop talking and start doing. Like, at some point, maybe, and again, I will sit here and praise what Utah's done this offseason till I'm red in the face. But the reality is Utah and many schools in the Big 12 have been behind the NIL curve for the entire existence of NIL. You've been behind the recruiting curve. You have not embraced it the way schools like BYU have. So now when BYU is ahead of you or maybe doing things that are more new age, what do we get? We get Twitter tough guy and we get anonymous sources and we get everybody coming out of the woodwork saying that BYU's doing shady stuff. So this is hardly surprising. This is hardly some scandal. This is like, I love it's all over YouTube. Oh, shocking cheating scandal. BYU is rocking the college football world, dude.
Right.
Like, that's what
How
we do.
dare they?
How, God forbid, they go out and do what everybody else is doing.
They start drinking caffeine and
dude.
Provo, and all of a sudden they're cheating liars.
Like, it's ridiculous to me, dude.
Come on.
And I love that this originates, and you correct me if I'm wrong, but my understanding was all this originated from allegations that BYU was poaching kids off of Utah's football roster.
That's exactly. And then everybody piled on.
Yeah.
Everybody piled on. And excuse me, man, this cough is killing me. I am as certain as I can be. I would love if Notre Dame operated the way BYU does. And if you're somebody that is a fan of one of the big, yes, David Floyd, the $40 million NIL club, Oregon, Texas, Ohio State, Tech, and Notre Dame. But Notre Dame doesn't spend. Name the starting quarterback at BYU.
Yeah, Jake Retzloff.
Jake Retzloff. Name the starting quarterback at Notre Dame.
Couldn't tell you. Oh, I know. Steve Angel.
No, Notre Dame is not spelled with an S-O-Y.
My bad. Sorry.
He's going to Syracuse.
Sorry. My bad.
Because he's not good enough. My point is,
this is what we do, bro. We want to hate on the rich folk. We want to hate on the people who go out and get a damn job done. Like, ultimately, and I think the best point is the one you were just making. This is what y'all asked for. This is what everybody said they wanted. Oh, well, the kid's got to make money. The kid has to have the right to do what they want to do. Okay, well,
free market system.
Capitalism abroad.
Capitalism.
This is what our country was built on. Okay, cool, Mr. USA. That's great, bro. But now you don't get to cry a river and say that BYU is somehow breaking all these rules when they're just going out and beating your ass at your own game. Because that's what this is. This is, hey, we got a checkbook over here. Weaponize that checkbook to go get talent so we can win ball games. This is not rocket science, bro. Like, I love all these people who are outraged that Arkansas would try to hold Madden Imialava accountable to leaving, even though it allegedly is in the contract that the exit fee was $200,000.
And they got bought today. Muliatalo committed to BYU, and of course that even upped the vitriol. Right, for 2026. Like, BYU has money and influence, and they're leveraging that to bring talent in the football and basketball. And I don't have any problem with it. I don't. I have no problem with Dana Marie being a member for 2 months.
Nice.
Dana, thank you very much.
What, no meat stick comments today, Dana?
Why? Like, why light the wick?
Why
light the wick like that?
No fire starting comment today, Dana.
Hey,
Come
man.
on.
Hey, Monty, how you feeling? Meat stick okay?
Come on.
Stop. Lee Jensen's been a member for 27 months.
Nice, dude. Nice.
BYU finding a new way to shake up the football league doesn't surprise me, nor should it. Nor should it, Lee Jensen. That's exactly right. I think BYU, this is what, in my opinion, this is what happens when you thumb your nose at BYU in the Pac-12. This is what happens when you put up Pac-12 country billboards. This is what happens when you tell BYU you're not good enough. You're the freaky people who don't play on Sundays.
Well, that's the issue, isn't it?
Well, now the freaky people who don't play on Sundays are outspending you exponentially. And if we're just comparing BYU to Utah, because I would agree with you, that's where this lives, and it just kind of has spread like the measles in Texas, right? Okay, probably too much. But my point is, listen, you can only step on little brother so often. And then when little brother drinks his raw milk and grows up to be...
That wasn't FDA approved and everything?
Or tested?
Yeah.
Stop it.
Oh.
When little brother grows up and he starts punching you in the face,
yeah,
there's nothing you can do now. BYU, and I think wait until this next basketball season. BYU is going to be, I would guess, more than one person will pick them to win the Big 12.
Yeah.
With the Bansa and all, if AJ DeBansa was the only guy, I'd be like, okay, dude, they're going to have 7 dudes.
We built this program on NIL.
And I'm warning you. It's gonna be keeping it real. Big Daddy Magic, who hates BYU.
Here we go.
Dude, what is this thumbnail picture of you? He sent Jake a video. Big Daddy Magic essentially sent Jake a video of himself getting a lap dance, which this is a thumbnail of. And I think it was sharing a Twizzler with this woman.
Yeah, it was. It's not one that I necessarily needed to see, but, more power to you, buddy.
Well, your hands were under the table, which was a little surprising. BYU cheated. They need to buy me a long red sleeve Buffalo Bills 3X hoodie, and I'll let it slide. I might just buy you the Bills red hoodie so you'll stop asking everybody and their mother to buy you one. Good to see you, Big Daddy Magic. Oh, boy. Brandon Butler. Pope Francis took all that Notre Dame IPF and NIL money.
I don't even need the punchline. That's great material right there, bro. That's great material, dude.
Listen.
Well, money.
We don't need to win football games. Did you guys see that there's now evidence that gladiators fought lions in the Coliseum? They found first, like, real evidence. Okay. Conundrum says countdown to the draft, 2 hours and 38 minutes. Okay.
Yeah.
I got love. Steely, what's up? Monty and Jake, good afternoon. Good afternoon
What's up,
to you.
dude?
Good to see you. Trojan fight. Fight off. I'm not so sure Notre Dame much on anyone for football outside of maybe getting Riley Leonard. Dude, they don't spend on anybody.
Yeah.
There's no bigger in stature and spirit fan of Notre Dame than myself, right? Like, we don't spend money on anybody. We don't spend money on anybody. Is what it is, right? Is it really cheating when there are no rules or contracts? No, it's not a war crime for the first the first
that's
time.
What
exactly
I'm saying,
right,
dude. Like,
war crime is probably strong.
You're treating, like, people are treating this like BYU is pulling over a sign stealing operation or doing something that's just so terrible for college athletics, bro. Like, this is the system. This is like, I have to say, I'm latched on to everybody wanted it to be a free market. Now that BYU's operating in that free market, you're pissed about it. Like, what? That's not how it works.
Yeah.
Like, maybe you should pony up the cash and not be mad at BYU.
Damon Bolden, unfortunately, I'm listening to all the talking heads saying it looks like he won't get picked at all on day one. You guys really think Shedeur's not going to get picked on day one? Teams let the dislike for his father cloud their judgment to win games.
So I don't disagree. Who is this? Damon?
This is Damon Bolden.
Yeah, Damon, I don't disagree with you, bro. That there are, everyone's concerned that he's not going to get drafted today. I think he's going to get drafted today, and I think he's going to get drafted in the first 5 picks. And I think that he is going to go on a massive, hey, I told you so campaign.
Okay.
That's what I think is going to happen.
Okay. And you want to mix in your draft takes, please do. Let's keep NFL draft top. Oh, well, look at that. Ferris Khan is back.
Whoa, you didn't get banned in the first 3 minutes of the show today?
If you weren't watching the show yesterday, there was high drama because Ferris Khan, YouTube notified me yesterday that Ferris Khan is on his final, what they call strike.
He is on the last strike.
If Ferris gets filtered again, he will be banned from YouTube.
Pack this thing up. We're out of here.
For whatever that means. I don't know. And a lot of people ask me this. I don't know what you guys say to get yourself filtered. And apparently, Ferris was put in 24-hour timeout yesterday. You said something. You did something.
Bro, did you bring up the cheeseburgers again, dude?
I don't know. Brandon Butler. That was supposed to be for Oak State stupid autocorrect backpedaling for his IPF weight. Okay. Wow.
Okay.
Oak State James catching a stray.
Okay.
God damn. Oak State James was just walking into Buc-ee's and got hit with a ricochet. What in the world? Joey B. Hello, Joey B. BYU got money. Yes, they do.
Yeah, they do.
Yes, they do. The awkward guy. BYU is cheating because they have God on their side.
Oh,
now it's a God thing.
Okay.
Joey B. Tithe at LDS around the world. Take 1% of that and give it to football at BYU. Hundreds of billions at their disposal.
In God's name, image, and likeness.
But we'll never know because they don't open their books.
And they don't have to.
Johnny Gonzalez, Monty, all these top players are more focused on becoming Mormon than playing football? Not at all. Can't be BYU's fault that they happen to benefit from their top-tier players' choice of religious beliefs. But here's the dirty truth. And if you don't know, this is a real conversation in BYU country. There's a lot of, and you guys should if your hand's not at 10-2.
I'm ready. I'm here. My seatbelt's on. I'm at 10-2.
There's a lot of people at BYU who are not Mormon.
Whoa!
Oh my God! Whoa!
Did you just say that you can go to BYU, but you don't have to be Mormon to go there?
Whoa.
Dude. Wow.
Don't know how to break it to you. There's a lot of people at BYU who are not LDS.
No.
Is what it is. Conundrum. Is it true BYU players are required to No, it is not true. Show me BYU's books. Why should they?
Yeah, why should they? Why should they have to?
We just get so bent over this stuff, and I don't understand it. Jatra. Okay.
Okay. Okay.
Jatra.
Who is that guy?
J-Train? I don't know. Utah fans have created quite a reputation for themselves since joining the Big 12. Dude, you don't even know. You don't even know.
It's bad, bro.
You guys are covering for what?
What are we covering for, dude?
Covering for what? Like what? Covering? Covering the draft live, bro.
Oh, okay. I thought
2
you were
hours
saying
and
we were
29
covering
minutes
for BYU. We don't have anything to cover for.
That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. Big Daddy Magic. Hey, I haven't said anything bad about BYU in 219 days. I only make jokes about them 1 week out of the year, and that's a rivalry week. I'm a better person now. Okay.
Put that donation on the screen because it has to do with BDM.
Oh, it does.
Yeah.
Okay,
It's
so you
not
guys
from him,
know.
but it's
You guys know.
Yeah.
That today we are raising money for hungry kids, and we've done it all month long. Our goal was $5,000. We are currently $468 away from meeting our goal of $5,000 raised to feed hungry kids. Jake says that there is another. Let's see. $5. Monty Show kids. Hey, Monty, you should buy BDM a toddler size red long sleeve Bill shirt.
Maury.
That would be so cruel. That would be so cruel. We're now $463 away. And I think Maury's got to win something today.
Yeah, he's donated a lot, dude.
He has donated a lot in the month of April. He's got to be close to $100.
Yeah. I'd have to go back and add it up, but yeah.
Get on Venmo, make the donation. Advocates donations on Venmo. Advocates donations. Make your donation on Venmo. Fill out the comment section. Just make sure it says Monty in it. MONTY. That's the only requirement. After you send it, take a screenshot, send it to Jake on Instagram. SLC Jake. Okay, SLC Jake, right here.
Via social media.
SLC Jake _.
Yes.
_. Right? See how I was?
Yeah.
SLC Jake _. Send him a screenshot. At 2 hours from right now, if I haven't coughed up a lung, we'll give away some $100 Amazon gift cards for you.
Yeah.
Pretty straightforward. That's all you have to do. 100% of your donations that you make to the advocates on Venmo go to the Murray Children's Pantry to feed hungry kids. 1 in 6 kids in this country don't know where their next meal is coming from. Let that sink in. 1 in 6 kids don't know where their next meal is coming from. Your donations go directly to fight childhood hunger in our communities. Make it happen. Advocates donations. We need $463 between now and the end of the show. We can do that, you guys. We absolutely can do that. Dibs, who's been a member for 25 months.
Nice, dude. Bro, I don't think we've heard from Dibs in a minute.
Dibs, it's been a minute, Dibs.
Yeah, dude.
Where you been,
a
bud?
while, bro.
1 QB in the top 10, no more than 2 in the first round. Sanders will not be taken by Pitt and will go top of the second round.
That's a definite possibility, bro.
Okay, so obviously Cam Ward, I think we all agree, is going number 1.
Yeah, he's going to go number 1.
Who do you think is the second quarterback off the board?
If it's not Shedeur, I think it's Jaxson Dart. I think that people really like him. He's the last guy coming out of the Gruden QB room thing. You know, he's been all over it lately. He's got a lot of momentum. The only question that I really have is how this is going to go down with the Giants and the Browns. You know, I really do feel like, you know, one of those two is going to stay. My gut, just my instinct, my opinion is that Cleveland's going to trade out, you know, trade down. Someone's going to trade up, and then New York will take a quarterback. I think. But I think I feel safe saying that this is going to be one of the craziest drafts we've seen. without a doubt, in the last probably 5 years.
Man, I struggle with that. I think there's going to be a number of trades. I think, excuse me, I think there is going to be a number of trades. I think if you look at, and I know we've talked about this for weeks and weeks and weeks now. I'm not going to change my opinion now. I think that the Cleveland Browns will not pick at number 2. Yeah. I think the Cleveland Browns are going to make a trade. I think the Cleveland Browns, and desperate is probably the wrong word. But I think the Cleveland Browns are in a position where they have so many needs. Drafting Travis or a quarterback at number 2 does not serve those needs.
Yeah.
And I think there is a real chance they trade, excuse me, out of the number 2 spot and they get multiple picks, including one in the top 10. And I think there is a real chance that Jacksonville makes a move. I think Cleveland, Jacksonville, I think the Chicago Bears could be very aggressive with the 10th pick. I know a lot of people in Chicago and damn near everybody is telling me that the Chicago Bears really want Ashton Ginty.
Yeah, well, I think the Bears, want to make that investment on the offensive side of the ball this year and really want to take a step forward in that area. And I think that, this smoke around Ginty and Jacksonville, and then the Bears trading up, and trying to move Jacksonville off of that spot. I think it's real. I think that Poles and company are about it. I think that front office is very motivated, wants to win, is really trying to take advantage of this draft and is really wanting to get, Caleb to have talent around him, not just have it be, Caleb Williams trying to make the most of what he's got, but really have it be a great offensive line, a solid run game for him to work off of in the pass game and really make it so you have a solid foundation. And I can appreciate that.
Yeah. I think if you look at this draft, you guys, and you start to understand that I don't believe that, I think half of the top 10 could pretty easily change. I think, is that a stretch? Is that aggressive? Sure it is. But I'm telling you now, just in the top 5 picks, if you look at the way the Giants, Patriots, Jags, then I mean, you're right on to the Raiders. I think the Raiders are 6 now. You look at that. I mean, you could see a lot of change in this top 10 right here. If you look at the number of teams, Tennessee's taking Cam Ward, right? I think we all agree with that.
Yes.
But if you look at the Cleveland Browns, the New York Giants, the New England Patriots, Jacksonville, the Raiders, the Jets, the Panthers, the Saints, and the Bears. The Bears, the Saints, the Raiders, the Jags, the Giants, and the Browns. That's 6. I think all 6 of them are candidates to make trades.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And I think part of that is you have big needs, right? I mean, obviously,
yes.
you whether it's needing a quarterback, needing best player available, and this is why the draft has really grown on me over the last couple of years. Like, I didn't used to love the fact that we would have to spend like a whole show one day.
Oh my God,
year,
you hated
like
it.
Talking about the draft and doing it for hours, and like it always just felt like such a clunker of a show to me. But then, I started thinking about it, and when you start to appreciate like the position that some of these teams are in, and like how they always say for players in like playoff games, like, hey, your legacy is defined. I really feel like that moment, that's what the draft is for executives. This is like their playoff game. This is their moment to either shine or screw it up. And everybody, if you were to make the playoffs, if you're a team that trades up, like if you're the Bears or one of these teams that trades up and is going to go to the playoffs, and your draft pick, like the Xavier Worthy situation happens and he goes off, like people are going to remember you. Like it's this story about how executives in the league are blocking Howie Roseman's number because they want nothing to do with getting Howied. Like Like, that's the type of stuff I'm talking about.
I think that's very real.
Yeah.
I think that's very real. Okay. Some donations have come in on Venmo. Advocates donations. So let's run them all down. Brandon Butler, $132.
Yes.
Maury Alvarez for $5. Then we have Marty, program for the kids. This payment cleared, but the ones from the Royal Blue Collective won't.
Buffalo Hunter.
Wow. Buffalo Hunter. Okay. Okay. We are chipping away,
really
you
well
guys.
done,
That
dude.
is really
So
well done.
bro.
All right. We are now down to $453. $5 more. Monty Show Kids. I was half tempted to post this to X and just tag you in the post so you have to hunt and spend 5 minutes figuring out where the donation is for 5 minutes and Connor pay in round 3.
It's Maury again.
Maury Alvarez again. We are at $448.
And now, and this is a rare thing before you put the next one up. This is a rare thing. This is someone that I don't know if you've heard of this person, James Bagley or potentially Jim Bagley.
Jim Bagley, Monty Show.
The Monty Show.
This obviously that's the Monty Show. $100.
Yes.
Wow.
Yeah.
Jimmy Bagley.
Yeah, Jimmy
I
Bags.
appreciate you, my guy. You guys, with Jimmy Bags making the donation, that's $348 to go. Come on, we got this. We are so close to meeting our goal. $348 to go. Big money. Brandon Butler was the first one in today at 132. Now Jimmy the Shoe. Jimmy the Shoe.
Hey, Jimmy the Shoe.
Jim Bagley. For $100, you guys are unbelievable.
Thank you.
Unbelievable. Advocates donations, 100% of your donation. 100% of your donation goes to the Murray Children's Pantry. Through the advocates, they are feeding kids in our communities. No kid should be hungry. No kid should be hungry. 1 in 6 kids in this country right now are struggling to figure out where their next meal is coming from. We can put an end to that right now. We can put an end to it. Help us do that. Advocates donations, make your donation on Venmo, screenshot it, and then send that screenshot to Jake on Instagram, SLC Jake, with an underscore.
Yeah.
Right there, SLC Jake underscore on Instagram. Let's see, an hour and 45 minutes from now, we'll give away 2 $100 Amazon gift cards. So you've got time, but let's get it done right now. $348 to go. That's incredible, you guys, that we have put together that kind of fundraising on this show to help kids is amazing. Jim Bagley said, sorry for the shoe. Jim, dude, spell it any way you want. We really appreciate that. Let's see. Boy, what are we talking about? It's the Browns. If it's brown, flush it down. Okay. Okay. If you're the Cleveland Browns, what do? I trade out of the spot. I think I said this yesterday.
Yeah.
I trade out of the spot. I want multiple picks. Turn 1 pick into 3 picks. They could have as many as 4 picks in the first 40. That's cooking with gas. That's what they need. If you're trading that pick, it's because you don't see a transformative quarterback in this draft. And hey, if that's your argument, I'm down with that. But if you're the Cleveland Browns,
or you might try to buy one too,
which I think there's real merit in that.
Yeah.
I'm not convinced anymore with the number of busts that we have seen. I am not convinced that drafting a quarterback's the best way to go. The obvious problem with that is, well, then you don't have the Brock Purdy situation where he's on a rookie deal, and you're able to pay the rest of your roster and you go compete for a Super Bowl.
Right.
Because now Brocktober is going to be a $50 million player, allegedly. So if you draft Cam Ward in Tennessee, you need to get aggressive and spend your salary cap so you can compete while he's on a rookie deal.
Yeah.
That's kind of the schematics of it. Brandon Butler, woke up feeling cute, might use my bucket strays today. Okay. Wow. Brandon's feeling spicy today.
I like it, dude.
That could either be bucket of bullets. the father-in-law, dad-in-law thing reference. That could be. The Chicago Bears need offensive line depth. They have it. The Bears have a 66.
Yeah, they had some offseason acquisitions.
They have a $66 million offensive line. So I think the Bears are unique because they can draft the best player available. They have a lot of optionality. I think they want Ashton Ginty.
Yeah.
I've talked to so many people in Chicago, and I mean, it's remarkable. Wasikowskinator, corner, DN, wide receiver for Detroit. You need to get better in the secondary. Secondary.
You're not trading JMO, dude. You're not doing that. And I don't care what anybody.
He's a generational talent.
You're not trading him, dude. Come on.
He is a generational talent.
You trade him, you damn well better get a franchise player, dude.
I think if you trade him, you're making a mistake.
Yeah.
But how long are you going to hang around in a are the Detroit Lions Super Bowl material? I don't think so.
Yeah,
because
I don't think we can definitively say that. I think definitely NFC Championship game material, but beating that quality NFC opponent has been their issue.
And I think the division's gotten way better.
Yeah.
I mean, obviously the Vikings don't have a quarterback. That's kind of an important position. I think the Packers, I just feel like there's something missing from the Packers, but they're always adding.
Mm-hmm.
I think the Bears have gotten exponentially better this offseason. And now you're in a position where, let's say they do add Ashton Ginty. How are they not favored in that division?
Yeah.
You would almost have to be, right? So I don't know, man. I think that's very interesting. Let's see. Can we talk about these damn Green Bay residents renting parking for $200 a spot?
Can you blame them? Honestly, can you blame them?
Capitalism.
Yeah. I mean, I
we talk about hate on this show in sports a lot. I hate Green Bay. I hate everything about Green Bay.
Play the Travis Hunter bite. This was going around yesterday. I think we still have it. Where this conversation, just sidebar conversation to kind of keep in the back of your cranium. How much, would you want to live and play in Green Bay, or do you hate Green Bay? Because this out of Travis Hunter.
What a stupid. Nobody likes Green Bay.
Well, apparently that's not true according to Travis Hunter.
I like it. It fits me. This is something this is where I like to be. I like to just be out in the middle of nowhere by myself, chilling and just having fun.
Now it's a hot all dang hot diggity night. We're gonna get cray tonight in the Green Bay. Oh yeah, what are you guys gonna do? We're gonna hop in the Japanese shitbox and drive down to the Brat Stop.
Get some natty
And
light.
You know what? We're putting crowd on the Brat. But that's the kind of night that it is. I warned you, we're getting crazy. And we'll stop in Waukesha, too. If I have to, I'll do it. Menominee Falls ain't safe.
Waukesha.
Wisconsin sucks so bad. The whole state. Hey,
Bro.
can I get some Menominee Falls, please? Anybody, who wants to get wild and go over to Milwaukee? Milwaukee.
No Elmanis.
We could get some MGB, bro.
Dude.
Who drinks Miller Genuine Draft anyway?
Not me.
Are they still come on?
What is your guys? I think this is fascinating because it's football, and I'm just genuinely curious. What is your guys, especially for those of you who live in the great state of Jita? What is your beer of choice? Because I feel like Modelo's lit the world on fire, and that's everybody's beer of choice.
But
now.
Wait a minute. Wait a minute.
What?
Stop.
What? What am I being? What am I? Go ahead. Here, what's the insult this time?
Why can't you just live in a world where you're well-rounded and educated? Why do you say things? Well, I feel like Modelo's lit the world on fire and everybody drinks that stuff now. Modelo's not new.
Right, but all the bandwagoners are. All the people that are oh, Modelo's the best, and that's all we're drinking.
I've been drinking Modelo
Right, but I'm not saying you're a bandwagoner. I'm saying that I feel like it's just picked up a lot of steam.
You don't deserve me. Do you understand how special I am?
Oh, I do. I do.
Corey, Corey, why do this? Why say stuff like White Claw? Why say that? See, you. Anyway.
That's cute. I remember when I had my first beer.
Don't spill it on your halter top, though, when you're drinking that White Claw. Stepanik. There are people saying that Kansas City won't make the playoffs, but that's crazy talk. Well, according to Patty Mahomes, they're going to unleash their passing game.
Yeah. I don't know, man. At some point, you got to protect Patrick Mahomes. At some point, you can't just have him running for his life, making the best of it. I mean,
Listen to me. Listen to if it's true that Kansas City is going to unleash their passing game, I give up on football, because if they win another Super Bowl this year, I'm out. I'm like the scumbag Kansas City Chiefs.
Know your role and shut your mouth.
I don't ever want to hear another Taylor Swift song. I don't want to hear about Trav and Swelsey and the degenerate Mahomes family. I don't. It's the Bears. The Bears are. That's the team. Let's get on the Bears. How about the Chicago Bears? When Patrick Mahomes is like, oh yeah, bro, we are going to unleash the passing game here at Nebraska football. When Patrick nothing,
yeah, that's stupid.
Nothing like that.
Kermit. Yeah.
No, the Nebraska football reference.
Dylan Raiola. Yeah.
Dylan Raiola.
Yeah.
Was another Kansas
lookalike. Yeah.
City Chiefs hate
right.
bomb.
Mm-hmm.
If the Kansas City Chiefs were holding on to the passing game, we're all screwed.
Yeah. It's over.
That's all I can say.
The draft means nothing.
Bro, because he says that Hollywood Brown and Xavier Worthy and Rashee Rice, even though he crashed his car on the freeway and isn't going to prison for it, and they're back and we're better than ever, baby. That's essentially what he's saying.
Wow.
And if that's the case, I give up.
Marketing's a hell of a thing, I guess. I'll believe it when I see it.
You got to pick today. Who's winning the Super Bowl?
I'd probably go with the Eagles.
Okay. Jay, go Pack, go. No Pack, no.
Dude, no.
No Pack, no.
Bro, come on.
How about no Pack, no?
Dude.
Hell no.
Absolutely not. The Browns have to draft massage therapists. Why make it a Deshaun Watson bomb?
Dude, come on. They've moved on from him.
Is that the worst contract in the history of the NFL?
I think it contends for one of the worst contracts in the history of sports.
Because he's been paid all of his guaranteed money.
Yeah.
Like he's been paid out.
Which I think makes it worse.
He's got an $80 million. Doesn't he have an $80 million cap hit this year now?
Something like that. Yeah. Yeah.
Come on. Who are we even kidding? Who are we even kidding? Like, okay, favorite beers are Miller Lite. Okay, so we've gone from White Claw to Miller Lite.
Because it's garbage.
Okay. Pinto House Brewing Electric Jellyfish IPA or Dos Equis. Okay, I'm not drinking jellyfish, so I don't know what quite is happening there. The Dos Equis, maybe. Okay, Pacifico. Pacifico, it's not better than Modelo. Stop.
No.
That's nonsense.
Pacifico clears Modelo by a mile?
No, it doesn't.
No, it does not.
Rolling Rock? I haven't heard Rolling Rock since Sam Adams. Sam Adams, okay. Okay. No, I'm not reading that. Corey says Bush Heavy.
Bush.
Okay. Does anybody actually choose Bush Heavy?
No.
I don't think so.
No.
I don't think so.
No.
Okay. Miller High Life? No. No. Johnny Gonzalez, Jake, we might need the earliest photo of Monty with Modelo in hand, just saying.
Yeah, I'll try to dig it up, dude. I'm not sure that there's a confirmed picture.
Jay Brandon, I'm a shock top guy, or used to be, haven't drank in a decade. Okay.
I mean,
got respect for
my
that.
guy over here wasn't even having Modelo at the spring training games we went to. So,
No, when I'm tired, I don't drink. And we went to spring training. We just didn't sleep much. So it wasn't really. Eric's Wasikowski, New Holland Bells. Okay. Last one, I promise. Genesis Cream. I don't.
Bro, what are you talking about, man?
Okay. PBR. Does anybody really drink PBR? St. Pauli Girl. Simpatico was good, but sure, they still make it. I don't know either.
Yeah.
You know. All right. Let's get back on the real purpose of the show today. You guys, we are just, what are we? $348 from our goal. We told you we've been trying to raise, yes, $348 is our goal for the rest of the day. We have raised a really good amount. We didn't come this far to just come this far. $348. Get on Venmo, Advocates Donations on Venmo. Send them a donation and then take a screenshot, send it to Jake on Instagram, SLC Jake. All of that donation goes to the Murray Children's Pantry. Thanks to our friend Jim Brass, who joins the show now. Mr. Brass, you know, it's very interesting. I've been reading about you. You started the Murray Children's Pantry like on your own. Like it wasn't a thing where you took it over. Like this has been kind of a passion for you.
Yeah, I have a friend. She's an advisor on our board, Linda Brown. And she asked me if I would help start this up. And in a fit of, I don't know what confusion, I said yes. That was about 5 years ago. And we got the 501c3, so we are a nonprofit, and started this. And it's just kind of grown exponentially over the last 5 years.
Jim, how you're in this on a regular basis, right? Like you
Yes.
deal with childhood hunger and, you know, instability with nutrition. And how big of a problem is this?
From where we sit, it is huge. Just to give you an idea, Murray Children's Pantry is not a huge food pantry, but we did 112,500 meals last year. That's double our first 2 years combined. It's more than our first 2 years combined. And we'll probably exceed that again this year. So yeah, we get new people in all the time. Either their rents got up too high and they can't afford to pay rent and eat. We have always said, you know, keep your home, we'll feed you. And then we see a lot of medical debt now. A lot of people who are in trouble medically, either personally or because of children. So yeah, it's a big problem.
It is amazing. At Thanksgiving, we were talking about how 1 in 6 kids is hungry. And that stat is amazing to me. And I think a lot of us just don't, I don't know if it's because it's not in front of us, or at least we don't recognize it because it is right in front of us. I mean, I live in Daybreak where I've got open fields everywhere, and I don't know how many times I drive past a soccer game or a football game or a basketball court where there's 10, 12, 15 kids playing. 2 of those kids are hungry. And I guess we just don't think about it. But what does that look like when a family comes to you and says, hey, I'm making a choice to pay my rent, but I can't afford food? Like, how does that play out? What does that look like?
When we get new people, they're nervous, they're embarrassed, they don't know what to do. We're somewhat unusual in that we don't ask proof. We don't need paperwork. All we need to know is how many people in your family, and we'll feed you. But when we give them food, we get a lot of tearful hugs, a lot of people who are thankful. We also deliver as needed. And I can't tell you how many times we've taken food into a house where there are children and they have not had food for over a week.
Oh.
And it's, I could get going on it and I won't, but yeah, it's a problem. And we see it every day. I get phone calls every day, people needing food.
A week. I mean,
Yeah,
you're talking about nutrition, you're talking about well-being, you're talking about trying to figure out how to put a sentence together in school, or a fraction problem, or I mean, I just can't imagine that. And it, you know, one of the things I was reading is like, where do you guys get your food? Because at one point do you guys get overflow food from people? Where do you get your food from?
You know, primarily it is donations from people. We get, well, the advocates help us out. The advocates have been amazing from almost day one, but just neighbors who know what we do, businesses who hear about us. The Murray Rotary Club just did a food drive that lasted several weeks and brought in cash and food of close to $15,000.
Wow.
And that, it sounds like a lot. Back in the day, it was a lot. $15,000, probably about a month and a half for us now.
Wow.
We go through a lot, and everybody that works at the pantry is a volunteer. No one gets paid. So 98 cents out of every dollar goes to buy food. The other 2 cents pays for lights and heat and insurance. The home is donated. We're right next to the Murray Baptist Church. They own the house. They give it to us for free.
Wow.
So
like we're $348 away from our weekly goal has been $1,000, right? So we're $348 away from that. Where does that money go when the advocates give you that donation? Where does that money go?
I've got a board member. Her name is Ann. She's fabulous. She shops every week. She hits all of the sales, gets all the deals, talks to the store managers, and we figure she's probably getting $5 worth of food for every dollar she spends.
Wow.
Just by watching the sales. So the money gets stretched. That 112,000 meals is a couple of $100,000 of food probably. And we don't spend that kind of money. We don't get that kind of money. So it's good shopping and people donating.
100, that's such a huge number. I can't even, and one of the things that I've heard you talk about is like these weekend bags that you guys do. Like when you talk about providing food for kids, I think a lot of us think that, well, they just go to school and they eat at school. But I mean, we don't think about Christmas break, summer break, weekends, even. Like, how do you guys look at this problem? How do you, like, when you talk about like a weekend bags, like, are you just addressing issues that you're hearing about on the street? Like, how are you coming up with that?
Initially we heard the stories like everybody else, kids not having food on the weekends because they're not in school. So that was the plan. We would pack bags of food. Each bag has 2 days worth of food for one child. So 6 meals. And right about the time we got started, COVID hit and they shut everything down. So now the parents aren't working. They're not getting an income. So we decided, okay, we'll feed families. So we still pack the weekend bags, but we do family boxes.
Yeah.
A family box has enough food to feed a family of 4 for a week. So the equivalent of 84 meals. We'll do 50 to 60 boxes in 2 hours on a Tuesday.
Wow.
And, my view on this is, I don't know about you, but if I don't eat, I get hangry.
Yeah.
And when you've got kids, being hangry is not beneficial to the family. Yeah. So we feel feeding the entire family helps the entire family.
Yeah.
And it's just, I tell you, if you came and spent time, you'd probably stick around. Everybody that we've had that volunteers comes back because they love it. They see the fruits of their labor right away. They see how they impact people.
Yeah. What is before I let you go, Jim Brass with the Murray Children's Pantry, what is your number one need? Is it hands? Is it food? Is it money? Like, what can we do for you today?
You're doing it. Allowing me to be here and talk about it gives us the exposure. Always food, shelf-stable food, unexpired, and money. Money works great too because like I said, we shop every week. So food and donations. Where our website is murraychildrenspantry.com. But as you have it, donate to the advocates and they will get it to us. And I can't thank you enough.
It's our pleasure, man. And I can't thank you enough for what you do. I know there's a lot of other things you could be doing. And I know that you're doing this. A lot of this is out of the goodness of your heart. And I am so thankful that people like you and your volunteers and your board and the advocates are working to help kids because they can't help themselves, and these families, it's real. I think we just don't realize it. But Jim, thanks for everything you do. We got $348 by the end of the day to meet our goal, really for the entire month. So I'm pretty confident we'll do that. Thanks again. Good to see you. And
Thank you,
let's
Jim.
do this again, Jim.
We'll do it. Thank you. Appreciate it.
You bet. Jim Brass, Murray Children's Pantry, you guys.
Man, just
that hurts my head.
Yeah, just the sheer numbers is incredible.
I think it's because we are the 1%ers on the earth, right? Like all of us.
Mm-hmm.
We are the 1%ers on the earth. And I feel like an idiot because you know what? I'm tired of the protein bar that I'm eating. So I'm like, I'm not ordering this bar again.
Mm-hmm.
I'm complaining about a protein bar. I'm well fed. I am well taken care of, and I take it for granted. But I'll tell you, every day I drive around my neighborhood now, and I see the kids, and I'm telling you guys, it makes a huge difference. Guys like Jim Brass are not normal. That's what he's doing is extraordinary. And let's help him. Let's get it done. Let's make that donation. Get on Venmo. Advocates donation on Venmo. We need $348 in the next 90 minutes. I'm asking you if you've got it in your heart and you've got it in your wallet donation on Venmo. Send Jake a screenshot, SLC Jake underscore right here, SLC Jake underscore on Instagram. Make your donation to the advocates on Venmo. Screenshot it. Send it to Jake on Instagram. We're going to give you Amazon gift cards at the end of the show. $348 is what our ask is today. And I appreciate you listening. I appreciate you, taking part in this. You don't have to do it. I know you don't have to do it. I know that money's tight. I know a lot of people are struggling, and you guys do it anyways, to the point where we're just $348 away from our goal. And I'm just so thankful for that.
Yes.
And I don't mean to rail about it. I don't mean to go on and on about it. It just hurts my heart so much to think about a kid who has not eaten in a week. There are kids in your community who have not eaten for a week.
It's wild.
And that's a guy in Jim Brass who's retired. He could do anything he wants, but he's taken on a life's work to put food on the table. It's amazing. Oak State James.
I believe it was for $25.
Money for Kids, the Monty Show. I thought I saw Jake's picture of a Bud Light recently. Did he wear a wig in that picture? Jake, are you promoting Bud Light without?
I am not.
Do you have a Bud Light deal that you're not telling us?
I don't have a Bud Light deal or a Cabela's deal or,
Cabela's deal.
Maury Alvarez is saying that his daughter has DM'd you directly on Instagram, apparently a picture as part of this donation that they've done here.
Okay.
So he would like you to check on that.
Okay, here is Maury Alvarez. Maury Alvarez giving $10 more. Okay, let's go. We don't mind that. You guys, we're $313 away now. After Maury's $10,
$25.
Oak State James gave $25. We're just $313 away. She DM'd me on Instagram.
That's what he said, and that she insisted that she be involved.
She insisted she be involved. It's a video.
Oh, it's a video.
Camilla, what are you doing? You're not going to actively donating to the kids.
Oh. Wow. That's awesome.
There you go, dude.
I really appreciate that. Hey, $10 makes a difference, you guys. I say it all the time. It is, man, there are kids who don't eat for a week at a time. That's crazy. $313 to go. Advocates donations on Venmo. Send a screenshot to Jake. All right. I only gave $20. Oh, he only gave $20. Okay. So we are $318 to go. Let's get it. I got a buddy who can get me old style once a year. Okay. PBR and fireworks, Dan says. Wow. PBR and fireworks.
Okay.
I like it. All right. Let's reset things. Man, that hurts my heart to hear that there are kids who don't eat for a week.
It's rough, bro.
I just don't even know what do you say to that? That kids don't eat for a week. All right. Where are you guys at on the NFL draft? How far? Let's get into this Shedeur Sanders thing. Do you believe that it's a daddy ball problem that Shedeur Sanders have? Do you believe that being Deion's kid is hurting his draft stock?
I don't think so. I think it's a bunch of, garbage talk. I think that there is, we had one random tweet about how allegedly one NFL executive said that Shedeur was terrible in the interview and his tape sucks and he's Prime's kid and then that circulated, and then there was another one that came out that said that was all BS and that Shedeur is widely regarded as one of the best players in this draft. So I struggle with this concept of he's not going to be drafted in the first round. I think he's going to be drafted inside of the top 5 picks. I think that people like him. I think everything that I've ever heard about Shedeur before the draft, and obviously during this process, he's well liked, man. Like, he does well in the interviews. He's good with people. Like, he's sharp. He's prepared. He's a professional. Like, there's just not a lot to not like about Shedeur. Like, the reason I don't buy into this whole daddy ball thing is because Shedeur is actually a good player, man. Like, Shedeur is actually like a productive guy that you can see panning out in the NFL. If he was just terrible and he was only here because Prime was his dad, then yeah, sure, maybe it's got more credence, but I just don't buy it. And I don't think he's fallen out of the first round, and I don't even think he's fallen out of the top 10.
I think this is going to be amazing to watch. I'll show you the draft order. This is the order they will all draft in today. And Tennessee is, I think, there's no way they don't take Cam Ward. I don't see any way. I think the first trade happens at 2. I think the best possibilities are the Jaguars or the Raiders to trade up to 2. I think the Giants and Saints, I have heard a ton the Giants and Saints are working on a trade for the 3 spot. I think absolutely Jaxson Dart could wind up a New Orleans Saint in just about 2 hours from right now. I think there's a real chance of that. We'll see. I think the Bears would love nothing more than to get inside the top 6 to draft Ashton Ginty. I think the Bears will get aggressive in that light. And my feeling is I think the Jacksonville Jaguars are going to make a big trade. I think they know that they need an offensive difference maker.
Mm-hmm.
And I think if you draft Travis Hunter, that's your guy. That guy could be an offensive difference maker. If you put Travis Hunter on the field with Trevor Lawrence, now you're in a much different position. And I think it's going to be very interesting to see how this all plays out. I think if I had to guess, I do believe that daddy ball is hurting Shedeur Sanders.
Mm-hmm.
On what level, to how much, I don't know. But I think the much bigger question is this one right here. What will the Cleveland Browns do at number 2? That to me is the far more fascinating question. The far more fascinating question. What will they do at number 2? Jay Brandon says, hit the like button. Yes, please hit the like button. It really helps the channel grow. Dan Welsh, I'll send $50, just afraid it will go to the wrong place. What do you mean the wrong place? Send it to the Advocates. It's very difficult to send it to the wrong Venmo account.
Yeah.
This is the Advocates donations. Advocates donations. It's a very easy address. Their logo will pop up when you go to make the Venmo payment there. It's all going to the Murray Children's Pantry. I mean, you're talking about one of the most ethical groups you've ever been around in the Advocates. So wrong place. I don't think that's a thing.
No.
Advocates donations on Venmo. Every penny of your donation goes to feed hungry kids. So let's make it happen. Again, we're just $318 away from our goal. our month-long April goal, we're just $318 away. Let's make it happen. Let's get it done. Let's see. Let's keep going on the draft. Eric Wasikowski falls below 7. So you think Shedeur Sanders will not be drafted in the top 7? Okay. Old Tatanka, Negra Modelo is the way to go. A lot of people agree with you on that. Dan Welsh, Shedeur is less a problem than Caleb Downs. What's wrong with Caleb Downs?
What's wrong with Caleb Downs?
I don't, what do you mean Caleb Downs? You'll have to explain that. I think Caleb Downs is a remarkable football player. And I think he is going to be, he's already 20 years old. I just Google search Caleb Downs. I think Caleb Downs is going to be all world. I think he's going to have one of the best seasons we've ever seen.
Yeah.
So I'm not worried about that. Dibs, hello. Sanders is his own man, walking his own path. Deion has made that clear. It's more about the need versus system that your team utilize. Well,
and see, that's a fair conversation.
That is.
See, like, that's fair. That's
I would agree with that.
Fair, dude.
I would agree. I would agree with that. Dan Shedeur, no way will be worse than Caleb Williams. Well, is Caleb Williams a bad quarterback?
No.
You're going to make this really easy. Caleb Williams is not a bad quarterback, and I again will say that I am a believer that if we're going to hold people accountable to their stats, we should do that. And if you look at Caleb Williams, right, and we say, oh, Caleb Williams is a problem. He's a bad quarterback. Because I've heard, and I'm sure a lot of it is just talking crap, and I'm a diehard Bears fan, but Caleb Williams is a problem, right? Here are Caleb Williams' numbers. 3,541 yards, 20 touchdowns, 6 interceptions. And I know that you are going to find this hard to believe. He was sacked 68 times.
Just an absurd number.
So 3,541 yards. Well, the rookie of the year and the greatest quarterback anybody's ever seen is Jaden Daniels in the Washington Commanders. Caleb had 3,541 yards. Interesting. The rookie of the year, the greatest quarterback anybody's ever seen, had 3,568 yards. So pretty much the same number. Caleb had 20 touchdowns. Jaden Daniels had 25 touchdowns. Man, that's really interesting. Okay. But Caleb threw way more interceptions than the greatest quarterback anybody's ever seen. Right? I mean, he threw way more interceptions than Jaden Daniels did, right? Caleb had 6. Oh, wait, Jaden had 9. Well, but that's because Jaden Daniels threw exponentially more pass attempts. Interesting. Caleb threw 562 passes attempted. Are you sure? This can't be right because it says that Jaden Daniels threw 480. I don't know, Jake. That doesn't. And wait, are you saying that Caleb was sacked 21 more times, but threw 3 less interceptions? He's a bust and he sucks.
Apparently that's what the math says.
I gotta learn me some ball because that just doesn't seem to add up.
Yeah.
I'm gonna say that Caleb Williams is a pretty damn good quarterback. And if Shedeur Sanders is as good as Caleb Williams, somebody won. Somebody won. Because Shedeur will not get sacked 68 times. There's not an offensive line that sucks that bad. Oh, well, there was last year. And it was the Chicago Bears.
Yeah.
Big Blue Horses, Shedeur is not a head case. He's not causing problems. He's good character, lots to like. He needs a good system and cream that doesn't destroy quarterback. Team, I think you mean. Is cream, stay hard. Okay. I feel that Will Johnson will drop more than Sanders. Hopefully a good team gets him and it ends up okay. Well, I mean, why would he drop more? What makes you think he'll drop more? not cream team. Oh, thank you for clarifying.
A lot.
Detroit beat him twice. Clearly not that great. Okay, so let me get this right then. Detroit supposedly had this unbelievable defensive line, and the Bears had inarguably the worst offensive line in football. And it's Caleb's fault that Detroit beat the Bears. Okay, makes perfect sense.
Who did Detroit get absolutely dominated by in the playoffs? Oh, that same guy that had the same numbers as Caleb Williams.
But a superior offensive line and a superior, never mind.
Gotcha. Okay. I just wanted to check.
Shedeur is being hurt by things like the watch celebration. Haters don't like him flexing his money, but I think he'll be a star in the right situation. You really think the watch celebration is what's hurting Shedeur?
I think he's referencing the watch thing, but I think what he's actually trying to say is like just
the flash and the glitz
flash.
and the
glam. Yeah.
That's interesting.
That's always rubbed people the wrong way, though. Just like not even with Shedeur, like yes, with Shedeur, but like with all athletes, like the athlete that is kind of in your face with it tends to piss some people off.
Okay.
So,
I mean, I don't hate that, and I understand. I get it. A lot of kids did that.
Mm-hmm.
Though. I mean, is that fair to pile on Shedeur over his celebration? I don't think I would say that. I don't think I would say. I think that's awfully strong.
Yeah.
I think that's very strong. Do you guys believe the Jacksonville Jaguars make a splash? If I had to ask you what team makes the biggest splash in a trade in this draft, I think it's very likely the Jacksonville Jaguars. I think that's very possible. And I think when you look at, I think Shad Khan's tired of being embarrassed.
Yeah.
Now, he's embarrassed himself quite a bit. But I also think there's been a lot of conversations around Trevor Lawrence being a pretty good quarterback. Because Trevor Lawrence isn't terrible. Trevor Lawrence doesn't suck.
No, he's won a playoff game, hasn't he?
Yeah, and that team, in my opinion, I think the biggest issue with Trevor Lawrence is that team has not supported him. And I think if you give Trevor Lawrence an offensive line, man, I think that there's a real good chance he's a pretty solid quarterback.
Yeah.
So
I would agree with that. I think that, Jacksonville is a team that, desperately needs another playmaker, desperately needs someone that can help Trevor Lawrence. And I think, obviously Travis Hunter can do that. Ashton Jeanty could do that. There are definitely options, but, I also think that, again, it's really hard to say what teams are going to do because I don't know. Obviously, I don't know how they view this draft. If you're Jacksonville, you could easily go down the trade down and get a bunch of picks route and try to restock a little bit. You could go that route. You could definitely go hey, we're going to make a splash, and pick up a big name and, we're going to go that route. But, I am inclined to think that while it's difficult to say which team will do it, I do think we're going to have several trades in the top 10. I think the Bears are doing their damnedest to trade up. I think the Steelers are a big threat to trade up. I think that there was this smoke earlier in the week that Mike Tomlin and company were exploring a way to get Travis Hunter and Shedeur on the same team so they could play together. If that were to happen, that would be incredible. I don't know that it will, but would be absolutely incredible. So I don't know. That's why I say I think this is one of the most difficult drafts to predict. I think that there's no telling outside of the Titans taking Cam Ward. After that, it literally 99% of the draft, I think, is impossible to predict. And I think it's because teams like Jacksonville are not good at footballing. We don't know. Like, you talk about Shad Khan being embarrassed. Well, I agree. He did it to himself. And you keep making bad decision after bad decision, whether it's your head coach or your GM or whatever it might be. So I don't know. But if I'm Jacksonville, I'm taking the best player available to me at 5. I am doing that. I am without a doubt doing that. And that's Ashton Jeanty, great. If I can turn, someone wants to call my phone when we're about to be on the clock and they want to say, hey, we're going to give you the world for that 5th pick. Okay, well,
how do you say no to that?
Yeah, I don't know how you say no to that, but the world better be the world. It better be like a player and 2 picks. That's what it needs to be.
Yeah, I have a lot of trouble believing that we're just going to sit here and this is just going to be picked 1 through 5. Yeah, I don't think that's happening. I think Jacksonville is in a position where they can make a deal. And then this one right here, I'm telling you, the Bears are making every effort possible to go and get Ashton Jeanty. Or
Yes.
That's what I believe. Just talking to people in Chicago. Do you guys think Ashton Jeanty's an NFL star? Because I think this conversation is fascinating. Do you guys believe that Ashton Jeanty is... A lot of people now have gotten on the Alvin Kamara bandwagon. A lot of people have gotten on the LaDainian Tomlinson bandwagon. Like, do you think he is that dual threat running back who can both run and catch the football? I don't see any reason that he's not. And I think when you have the Chicago Bears have spent, and I was just looking at this, and I should clip this so you guys can look at it with me. The Chicago Bears for 2025 have one of the most expensive offensive lines in the National Football League. And I'm not even that surprised by it. I'll be honest with you. You look at the numbers and you understand weaknesses in a football team. Look at the teams that are spending a lot of money on the offensive line for 2025. Carolina always spends money on the O-line. The Chiefs, $81.5 million for Patrick Mahomes. The Giants, 67.7 for what? You don't have a running back really, and you don't have a quarterback. You're telling me you spent $67 million on the offensive line for Abdul Carter? That's what I'm saying. How are you not trading out of that spot?
Yeah.
If you're the Jags, dare you trade Trevor Lawrence to the Giants? Would you even consider it?
Depends who you're going to go and get. I mean, yeah, I mean, if you fancy yourself some Jaxson Dart, sure. That's a possibility. Like, yeah, that's the kind of example I'm talking about. Like, that's the kind of off the wall, shot in the dark kind of scenario where front offices behind the scenes are trying to scheme to get done what they want to get done. Like, again, I have to agree with everyone saying, like, if you're the Steelers and you're paying DK 30 a year or whatever it is, you're getting a quarterback in this draft.
You better.
Right? Like you're gonna do that because honestly, whether Aaron plays there or not, the DK deal is gonna outlive him in Pittsburgh. So you're gonna have to have another arm.
And if you look at these offensive line rankings, how many stud quarterbacks are in the top 10? Panthers, no. Chiefs, obviously. Giants, no. Bears, no. Vikings, no. Lions, no. Broncos, no. Commanders, no. Chargers, Justin Herbert. I would say he's a stud. Certainly. And then the Titans. That's 2.
Mm-hmm.
2 out of the 10 most expensive offensive lines in the National Football League have a stud at quarterback. 2. That's incredible.
Yeah.
So now you've spent that money on the offensive line. I think you have to go and get quarterback. If you're the Chicago Bears, obviously you have that guy. That's why I say when we sit here and we talk about Ashton Jeanty, dude, I got questions all over the place about Ashton Jeanty.
Mm-hmm.
And I think if we're talking about the Bears making a trade, like, do you believe in Jeanty?
Yeah, I think he'll work out as an NFL back. I think that, I love his bravado. I love the fact that he said, like, I can't remember when he said it, but I think it was earlier this week, might have been late last week. Hey, you should draft the guy that dude struggled to tackle, right? Like, I love that kind of that messaging, that bravado. So
I agree.
Attitude-wise, mentals-wise, I think he's great. Do I think that it's hard to predict just how prolific he would be in the NFL based on the fact that he played the Mountain West? Yeah, I do. I do. When you played Penn State, you weren't anything, right? You were not the same guy for obvious reasons. So the balance of that is, hey, if he gets to the right situation, if the Bears were to draft him, being that they've spent money on the O-line,
right,
and he has gaps to run through and he's playing 5 yards down the field, 5 yard, like if he's running through the A gap and he's got even 3 yards, I think you're going to be in a really great spot with him. And for the Bears, just as an example, if the Bears are playing in 3rd and 3 a lot, they're going to be a really good team. Like, that's how the NFL works, man.
Yeah.
But I don't. When you say, "Hey, do you believe in him?" Yes, I would draft Ashton Jeanty if I was the Chicago Bears.
You can't tell me they're drafting tight end.
No,
I just
I don't know why you would.
Big Blue Horses. Jax trades 5 head and they're number 1 to move up. Dude, I think Jacksonville knows they've got to go and get an offensive star.
And I can't put it past them. How can you put that past them?
I can't believe they would trade Trevor Lawrence, but if you're making a trade could Cleveland do worse than Trevor Lawrence?
Yes.
Yes. Could the Giants in their high-priced offensive line do worse than Trevor Lawrence? Yes. Yes, they could. I think that is going to be a fascinating thing to watch. Fat Jesus. You don't deserve me. Most amazing comment from a father to a son. I don't know what you're talking about. I would never say that to my son. Jake?
No comment.
Seth, who makes hats. Marty's hypothetical about Tennessee trading out, getting 3 good players was a great idea. Hadn't thought about that. It's what I do.
Stay hard.
It's what I do. Fat Jesus. Foster's, it's Australian for beer, mate.
Jeff Howe from The Athletic is reporting that the Jags are actively trying to trade up from the 5th pick to get Travis Hunter.
I have no doubt about that. No doubt about that. I think that's one of the first things I said on the show today.
Okay. Oh, Ashton Jeanty
rolled
up to the draft.
Wearing Crocs.
Swarovski studded Crocs. What are we doing, bro? Why are we wearing Crocs at the draft? Why? I like you, dude, but you're losing me with this right now.
Okay. So if I own Crocs, but I own the slides, right? I don't understand Crocs, cool or not cool? Which one is it, Jake?
I'm saying not cool, but
you're saying not cool.
I'm not a huge Crocs guy.
You strike me as a huge Crocs guy.
Nah.
You're kind of soft like that.
Thanks, man. That's great.
You're
Appreciate
welcome.
That.
But you were the first guy to put rubbers on your feet, right?
Rubbers.
Yeah, the Birkenstock rubber ones. And they're not even actual Birkie rubbers.
I'm going to just go out on a limb and say that Birkenstock did not refer to their shoe as rubbers. Okay. That's just
why do you have to make everything sexual?
That's just a guess, dude.
Do you think that was a condom reference?
Yes.
Okay, it was. I admit it was.
Well, you put rubbers on your feet. I mean, what's the big deal?
But here is Ashton Jeanty trying to be a better man than you are. He's wearing Swarovski crystal studded Crocs.
Hot ass.
Don't say that fast because Crocs could easily go wrong. Swarovski. Now, I am a huge Swarovski fan.
Macaque.
Mrs. Monty has more than one piece from Swarovski. Stop it. Grow up.
I'm giving you a fucking answer.
I know you are, but so you hate these?
I don't hate them on their own.
I don't hate them, bro.
To the draft,
bro, I don't hate them, but I gotta be honest with you. I don't love them.
Can I not get an Oxford? Can I not get a nice?
Can I get some leather boat shoes?
Yeah, dude,
I don't love them.
Come on.
I've seen. Listen, Sonny Crockett wears loafers. How come Ashton Jeanty can't?
Yeah,
you tell me you can't pull that look off, bro.
That's what I'm saying, dude.
Are you too insecure to wear Crocs?
No, I just don't think it's the NFL draft.
Birkin rubbers.
Yeah, Birkin rubbers, dude.
I have them too.
I'm a big fan.
No, you're not. You bought generics. You don't even have authentics.
I'm not a big Birk guy. I like the generics.
It's called Birkies.
Birkies. Birkie rubbers. I get it, dude.
I have real rubbers. Right? They say Birkenstock on the side.
I have real rubbers.
Quote, I have real rubbers. Did not Anthony Edwards say.
Dude.
That's Jim Choi, those Crocs cost some money. It's a luxury item like Hermes.
This is fucking America.
Oh my God, Japanese shoe story.
Oh, update time.
Okay, let me just get through some comments. Commanders and Bears QBs, too early to say stud or not stud. Jake, do you agree with that? Would you make an argument that Caleb Williams and and guy who has the same numbers, Jaden Daniels, aren't studs.
No, I wouldn't. I think that those two, saying it's too early to make an assessment on them is, in my opinion, a little bit ridiculous. I think that obviously there's situations where a little bit different, but I think that there's no doubt that these two guys are extremely capable as quarterbacks. I mean, you want to look at, and as Monty is so famous for on the show, like, the stats are the stats. They're very similar. Both of these guys are very capable. But I think we really start to get into the nuts and bolts of it when you consider their situation. And I think that, I love Jaden Daniels' mentality. I love Caleb Williams' mentality. I think that these two are the next studs of the NFL. I think they are young quarterbacks. I think that they absolutely dealt with, more so Caleb than Jaden, but Caleb dealt with just a load of crap his rookie season, when everything from head coaches being fired to coordinators being fired to your coordinator, allegedly sitting on the bench, not wanting to look at tape from the prior possession and work with you on it. Like just all this nonsense that went on in Chicago.
He having to watch tape and prepare alone in a room at the Bears facility, because the offensive coordinator and Shane Waldron didn't want to watch tape.
So he had to deal with all of that and still put up the year that he did. So yes, it absolutely, in my opinion, we are able to say, yes, these two guys are studs. And I completely agree. And I really feel like legitimately, this is like the first time in my life I can say this about the Bears. Like, this is the first time I feel like the front office has their head on straight. This is the first time where I really feel like, hey, they identified a quarterback in the draft. They went and got him.
I agree.
They understood that they were going to have struggles in that first year because he didn't have enough money to fix all the problems. And I feel like the fan base went along with that. And so did Caleb, and so did the coaching staff. The problem is your personnel sucked in the coaching staff. So you had to fire all those guys too. Now, year two is going to be absolutely incredible, which is why tonight is so important. So I disagree that it's too early to say that these guys are studs. I think I tend to agree with you. You put a guy out there, you can tell almost right away whether he's got the goods or he doesn't have the goods. Because if he has them and the rest of the team around him is not very good, it's clearly going to play out on tape like that.
I agree. A little breaking news out of the NBA. The Cleveland Cavaliers have Evan Mobley. Evan Mobley of the Cleveland Cavaliers has won the NBA Defensive Player of the Year award. Wow. That is a huge win for Evan Mobley. Cleveland Cavaliers big man Evan Mobley, 2024-25 Defensive Player of the Year.
Good for him.
Wow. That is a big statement. That is a big statement. So congratulations to him. All right, Advocates donations as we talk NFL draft. Again, you guys, we are trying to finish up our monthly budget here on the Monty Show to get our donations for the Advocates. We are just $318 away. $318 away. That's the ask in the next hour and 20 minutes. Two people will win $100 Amazon gift cards. If you are one of the people donating today, and I know we have a new donation, but why would you want it to be easy? Let me get it here, right there. It is. Ooh, this is a hello. I'm trying. Technology. Yeah. Advocates donations on Venmo. Okay. 100% of your donation, and it matters not if it's $1, $5, $100. Every penny counts, man. 100% of your donation goes to the Murray Children's Pantry to help end childhood hunger in our communities. Make it happen. $318 is all we need. Monty, I just lost my job, so I can't donate much, but everybody needs a good meal. Here's $10.
Austin
wow.
Davis.
Austin Davis, dude.
Appreciate you, bro.
Totally get it. I appreciate that, Austin, more than you know. Why don't we give Austin a $50 Amazon gift card? Austin, DM Jake on your email address on Instagram. You lost your job. You gave to us. Let us give to you. Email Jake your email. He'll send you an Amazon gift card. I really appreciate that, dude. So now we are just $308 away. That's all it is. $308 to cover our goal.
James, just real quick.
Yes.
DM me. You're making posts on your Instagram. Just send them to me, because what's happening is it's cutting off your memo section message. So I like have to go into the.
James is tagging you on Instagram.
He's tagging me. You're posting instead of just DMing me the picture. So it makes it a little bit more difficult, and it cuts off what you're saying in your memo section, my guy.
Okay. You guys are crazy. We need $308. And I'm asking you, if it's in your heart and in your wallet, get on Venmo, make a donation, just put in the memo section, Monty, and send that donation, then take a screenshot, DM Jake on Instagram, SLC Jake on Instagram. We're just $308 away now. Like, we're at the finish line. We can get this done. We can get this done right now.
Yes.
Let's get it done today. We would love to, nothing more than to knock this out right now. Let's see. That's not it. This is it right here. Okay. What has James done?
$10.
James says $10. Monty, just admit it, Jake. You like White Claw. You just told your buddies that the White Claws in your fridge were for your girlfriend. Wow. Oak State James goes $10 to break the $300 barrier. You guys, Jake drinks White Claws. He'll drink one on the show if we can get $298 in the door in the next 90 minutes.
Apparently I do. But
I've never had a White Claw.
I've never had one either. But
Would you chug a White Claw on the show if we make $300?
do you have White Claw?
I don't.
I mean, yeah, I guess I could do it next week. I mean, I don't have one, but
James, thank you for that. Now we are under $300. $298 left to meet our monthly goal.
Come on, someone come up clutch, man. Let's get this done right now.
And listen, if you have quite literally $5, $10, if you have $1 million, we'll take every penny that you can spare. I really appreciate it. Getting to being within $298. I had pneumonia last week. We were in Chicago for a week.
Yeah.
That we've put this much money into the pot. And you heard Jim Brass from the Murray Children's Pantry less than an hour ago talking about how much this money means to their organization. They have served over 100,000 meals to families a year. You guys, this is a big deal. We're making a difference in the community. So I appreciate that. Chewy Gonzalez for $100. Let me help some of the Scott's Tots, a.k.a. Monty's kids.
Nice, dude. Very nice job, dude.
Nice job. I appreciate that very much.
That's what is
so
that
that'd
now?
be, we're at $200 flat now.
Okay.
That's all we need. I was kidding, just trying to win. I like it.
Oh, I'm not taking it personally, dude. I just don't have a White Claw to chug. That's the problem.
Cleveland, the Jets, Jacksonville, Las Vegas, Carolina, all have wild card crazy owners who do stupid things. And what about Jerry? I think you're exactly right. I think Jerry Jones, I think the Dallas Cowboys could absolutely make a big splash in this draft, because you're missing offensive skill position weapons. I think we all agree with that. I mean, there's no doubt they can make a splash in this draft. Wasikowski, I'll be at game 3 instead of watching the Cheese Dicks host the draft. Wow. Okay.
Okay, see, this is what I'm talking about with NFL fits right here. This is tight, dude. Jalen Milroe rolling up in a nice suit, I like his.
So
fit
you
a
don't
lot.
like guys getting flashy at the draft?
Not even flashy's not the word. What I want it to be is I want it to be a suit, and I want it to be classy. Have some class, dude. That's all I'm saying. You want to? This is a great example of what I mean. We're gonna put it on the screen. Jalen Milroe rolled up to the draft in a suit, and there's clearly meaning behind it and everything like that. But this is a really nice look, dude. It's not too complicated. It's simple. It's clean. It looks good. Like, that's really clean, dude. Like, nice job, bro.
I like that. And I love the shoes. I'm a big fan of dressing up and having Jordans on. I think that's a great look. That's a beautiful suit. He's a good looking dude. Like, he is shredded. He's always had that great smile. Like, he's a good looking dude. He is a very good looking dude.
Really quick, the Defensive Player of the Year voting numbers have come out. Rudy Gobert did not get any first place votes. Times have
why
changed.
would he?
Well, because I'm just saying, like, when you look at this, it's Evan Mobley who won, obviously. Dyson Daniels came in second. Draymond third. Lou Dort fourth. Amin Thompson fifth. Avika Zubac sixth. Jaren Jackson Jr. seventh. Like it's changed. Finally.
Okay.
Finally.
Okay. I don't disagree that things have changed. I say I think Rudy Gobert is the most overrated player in the history of the NBA based on his contract value.
Yeah.
I think it is an absolute embarrassment he's making the money he's making.
Yeah. Because
he's not the best defensive player in the NBA. But I've always said that, and I always tend to get sliced and diced over that. Birkin rubbers, yes, in fact. Because trust me, if you wear those Birkin rubbers, you don't have to worry about getting her pregnant because you ain't getting that. Jim, the Birkin, okay. Those Crocs cost some money. It's a luxury item like Hermes. I read that one, yes. Eric Wasikowski, real rubbers. Exactly. I started Clutch. You did start you mean the giving? You did start Clutch. I agree with that 100%. Yes, great job, Chewy. Appreciate you. As more donations come in, $298, or excuse me, $200 is the number to go here. $200 is what we need to get over the line.
Yes.
And let me see. What do we have here? God dog. We have so many in there right now that it's hard for me to ascertain. Let's see. Here it is right here.
Yeah.
Okay, we'll go over here. Let's see. Come on. You can do it. Let me put the Advocates donations back on the screen. Advocates donations. $25.
Yes.
The Monty Show donation for kids.
Yes.
Let's go.
Yes.
So we are now $174 away. Whose donation was that?
My girlfriend.
Your girlfriend
to the cause. Yes.
Making a donation.
Yes.
I like it.
Yes.
I like it very much. We're just $174 away,
Mm-hmm.
you guys. I think this is one of the best things we do all year. I truly do. Just $174 away now. Phenomenal. Do I have to give your girlfriend a Target gift card now?
No.
Is she still a Targetaholic?
Yeah, I would say so, but it is what it is. Some people like Target.
But no. Do you like Target?
I enjoy
Target.
Wait. Yes.
Are you allowed to say no?
No.
You're not. See? Exactly. He's not allowed to say no.
I like Target, dude. I have Target clothes. Like,
you do?
Oh yeah, they have a nice cheap selection. Yeah.
Come on. Birkin rubbers prevent the bush push. Yes, they do.
The bush push.
Yes, they do. That's exactly right. Chewy Gonzalez, who had his Dodgers swept by the Chicago Cubs. Yeah, can't take that donation back, can you? Go Cubs. How about PCA last night? Peter Kerr Armstrong going deep again. I didn't take him.
You're welcome.
Appreciate you, Chewy. Thank you. Joseph Harper, Milroe to the Saints should be the perfect pick for his outfit. Well, you're not even wrong about it, but that's a hell of a suit right there. That is a hell of a suit. So I don't even think you're wrong. What do you want your Seahawks to do? Are the Seahawks moving in the right direction? Is Darnold an upgrade from Geno? Well, I would think certainly, right?
Mm-hmm.
Based on what we saw in Minnesota. I think the NFC West is going to be interesting tonight. Buffalo Hunter, I want Jared to draft Matthew Golden, but as a suffering Cowboys fan, I can't have nice things. Matthew Golden is going to be a stud. He's going to be a stud. I mean, is Travis Hunter the best receiver in the draft?
I mean, I think he's the best player in the draft, honestly.
I mean, the guy just doesn't drop the football.
He doesn't drop the football. He's in the right place. He mentally is very disciplined. Like,
I would agree.
I think that Travis Hunter is somebody who you can plug into pretty much any situation, and he's going to perform or make you better on some level. So I just think that in the NFL draft, there are some guys that are surefire bets, and Travis Hunter is one of the most surefire bets that you can have. Like,
And I think he's a surefire bet because he wants to compete.
Yeah.
The guy I think guys like him and I would hope, and there's always guys that why can I never think of the quarterback from LSU? The fat guy.
Oh, Jamarcus Russell.
I can never remember that. Purple trank at midfield.
Yeah.
Those guys happen, right? But I think on the whole, if you're getting drafted at the top of the NFL draft, your want to's pretty high.
Yes.
Your want to's pretty high because your money's not guaranteed. I think that's like in the NBA, the minute you get drafted, you're set for life.
Yep.
In the NFL, that's not the case, especially if you're not in the first round. If you're drafted outside the first round, you got to go earn your check year in and year out.
Yes, you do.
You got to go win that pension. You got to go get all of your money. You got to go get all that. And I think the want to in the NFL draft is very high. And that's why I think Travis is a dog, dude.
Yeah.
I think he wants it. I think he really wants it.
Yes.
Chewy Gonzalez, I give to the kids and you rub salt in my wounds about the Dodgers. Oh, well, Hayer's going, hey, it brought me such joy to see Shohei do absolutely nothing in that series. And, hey, Pages, can we talk about
Pie?
You mean Pages? Pages, it's Pages, pronounced Pages. You're not a nice person. If that's how you spell your name and then you pronounce it Pages, you're not a nice person.
No.
You hate the media, very clearly. You hate the media, right? Like, come on. You hate the media. Advocates donations on Venmo.
Yes.
Again, I think, what are we, $174 after your girlfriend donated $25 from the Target Fund?
Yes.
Come on, that's funny.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's right at the bottom there.
Whoa.
You got to get the banner out of the way. It's the way he sent this over. It's
Okay,
right
$20. The Monty Show helping. Whoa.
And this is Brandon, not Brandon Butler, a different Brandon.
Okay, the Monty Show helping change kids' lives. I appreciate that, man.
Yeah.
You guys, we're down to $154.
Come on, man.
Come on. Let's go. $154. Thanks to our friend Brandon. Who do we have people in the lead here for the $100 Amazon gift card? Because maybe I'm underselling the lead. 2 of you are going to win a $100 Amazon gift card.
Yes.
Are we feeling a certain types of way?
Well, I mean, we already said that Austin Davis was getting
50. Okay. The White Claw, I got to admit, the White Claw one is there. I think Maury, who's given like $7.2 million, I think Maury has to be there.
Yeah.
We're hooking you up. I think Brandon Butler today with his $132 donation opened the door.
Yeah.
Right now, I think if we're doing hundreds, I think it's Maury. Brandon Butler has to be there and the backpedaling IPF for on stage and his wife, that's undefeated. But then James coming back in and saying, hey, Jake, you like White Claw. I can kind of get down with that. I can
appreciate the effort for sure.
And it was a Bud Light bomb.
Mm-hmm.
In the first one, and then he doubled down on that and went White Claw in your fridge. I can't hate that.
Mm-hmm.
I can't hate that.
Okay.
So it's going to come down to the end. GTI Brandon, it was me.
Yes, there he is.
I'm an old boomer, which I appreciate.
Okay.
I'm not Mormon or don't live in Utah. Okay.
That's a BYU conversation reference.
Okay, I like that. I'm not Mormon either, by the way.
God bless.
I'm a recovering Catholic. And $20, I'm less than half of the Brandon that Brandon Butler is. That's what
right.
I'm saying.
That's right. Yes.
I mean, that much.
It's Brandon, and it all kind of works together and everything.
And stuff. So that's all good. All right.
Oh, and Chewy's got to be there too, though.
Chewy's got to be there.
Yeah.
Truth. Yeah, Chewy, absolutely. But Chewy did it through the tip jar. Right? Like Chewy did it through the tip jar, and he's a Dodger fan.
It's over. It's over. We've met our goal.
Oh, we've met our goal.
We've met our goal. Hold on.
Okay.
Hold on.
Okay.
Hang on. Let me send this over to you before we move on.
Okay. We have over 1,700 people watching the show live right now.
Yes.
Let's see what it's going to be. I got to go over here now. And I have to go over here now.
Yeah.
And then now I have to find it in the long, because you guys are amazing. Is it this one?
Yeah, it should be that first one there.
I think it is. Okay. Let's see. We need $154. So we got $150. Monty Show fights childhood hunger. And I even like the pen out.
Yes, that's Calford.
Calford with $150.
And Austin Davis, who has donated.
Dude, Calford, you're a stud. Thank you so much.
Yeah, you are, dude. Thank you. Appreciate that. Donated, said that he lost his job. We were going to give him the Amazon gift card.
Yeah.
Has requested that he has asked me any way I could donate the $50 gift card to the fund instead.
Certainly you can.
So if you would like us to do that, we can do that.
Yeah. I'm happy to send the Venmo right now, Jake.
Okay. Give me 1 second.
Send the Venmo. And actually, do I have it in my Venmo? Or I might have the Venmo. Hold on. I have, I believe I have some golf funds in my Venmo. And I do.
How much golf funds do you have?
I have $275 in my golf fund. You know what? I'm going to do it right now. And then I'm going to put it on the screen. Let's see. Advocates. You want to let's put our money where our mouth is. Advocates.
Mm-hmm.
If I could spell. Advocates. Come on. You can do it. Donation. Advocates donation. How much do I have in there? I think I have two. Let's do 275. Excuse me. Monty Show. Monty Show for cough syrup. Pay.
For Dayquil.
Okay. Now I'm going to let's go. I'm going to
screenshot
this.
Yes.
I'm going to do this.
Thank you.
And then I'm going to come over here and I'm going to leave the part that says your payment was sent.
Thank you.
And then I'm going to send it over here. Send it to the Monty Show computer wizard thing.
Yeah, the rocket ship and stuff.
Ho ho!
Yeah, it says Monty Show for the kids cough syrup. Let's go.
So you guys can see that I put my money where my mouth is. So that you can... Now I have to find it.
It should be filtered by last added, no?
No.
Well, you can do it up at the top there.
I think this is it right here. Is this it right here? This is it right here. I want you guys to know. There you go. Monty Show for cough syrup. 275 bones.
Boom.
We did it.
So what's our do the math here? Let's add our donation plus the Calford's donation.
Okay, so Calford put us at $4.
Right.
Minus 150. That means $4 minus 275.
Yes.
That puts us at $271 over the line.
There you go.
We made it.
Boom.
We made it, you
Done.
guys. And let's send the obligatory text. There. Check your Venmo. I believe we met our goal. Do it. There we go.
I want to thank me.
I want to thank me. I want to thank me. You guys, I want to thank you. All right, who are we giving the Amazon
so
gift cards to?
we still have
Dan Welch says he sent $50.
Okay, let's check. Let's see.
Did Dan Welch send $50?
No, OSU Cowboy Country's now figured out how to send me DMs. Apparently, though.
Okay, hang on. Let me at least do this. Let me at least empty
the cash.
Let me empty the cash, right? So that I can. Jake hates that I highlight and drag.
It drives me nuts.
He hates it. Okay, now go ahead.
Just right click and delete.
I understand, but pimp's going to pimp the way that we've always pimped because that's how we're comfortable pimping.
Okay, the pimpage is right.
Yeah.
Okay, now let me see. Who did you say this was now?
Dan Welsh says he sent $50.
Okay, he didn't DM me, so let me check the feed here.
Let's check the feed. Because you guys, that would be we're cooking with gas now. I even donated my golf funds to this. Now we're way over the limit. Let's see.
I don't see Dan. I do see Brandon Christensen, which is not one that I had seen before.
Okay. I like that.
I don't know the amount though.
Which is okay. Let's see. Here's James. Monty, tomorrow we will have a fundraiser for Monty and Jake. Can someone say Ricola? Exactly. Ricola. Funny thing is, I have some Ricola right here.
I really don't care if you think it's sus.
Yeah, I mean, come on, dude.
Right?
It's only the best.
You guys are awesome. Thank you again.
Yeah, Dan, if you wouldn't mind just DMing me, bro, because I don't see it. I'm not saying you didn't, but I don't see it at this time.
Yeah, I sit here humbly, you guys. And I'm not even saying that to be cool or hip, or I thank you so much, because the money that you raised, we raised thousands of dollars that is going to feed hungry kids.
Yeah.
That's real world impact. That is changing the lives of kids who don't know where they're going to eat or how they're going to get food. And I tell you, when we raise money for school supplies, when we do Thanksgiving and Sub for Santa, and now we're doing childhood hunger, you guys come through every single time. Every single time you guys come through. And I am just so thankful that you guys do this. This show has grown exponentially. I don't even know where we're at now. We're at like 170,000 subs. Like, you guys really take care of us, and we're at 178,250 subscribers. Like, that's stupid numbers. And it's you guys supporting the show, and I'm just so thankful for that. Thank you. It's hard out here for a pimp.
That's right.
It is.
Right.
Pimping ain't easy, Chewy. No, it's not. Especially if your name. God, it's so easy. It's so easy.
Okay.
Is Shannon Sharpe.
Okay.
If your name is Shannon Sharpe, you're in a world of hurt. And let's kick off the final hour of the show and talk about Shannon Sharpe, because I'm amazed by this. I have said this all week on this show about Shannon, who is allegedly sexually abused a woman. He has allegedly choked her. He is alleged in audio to have, as you've heard on the show multiple times, he is alleged to have threatened her to choke her in public. And I've played it every day. We've talked about it. I'm going to play it again. Shannon Sharpe strongly denies all of these allegations.
This is a shakedown. I'm going to be open, transparent, and defend myself, because this isn't right. This is all being orchestrated by Tony Busby, who has targeted Jay-Z. Tony Busby targets black men, and I believe he's going to release a 30-second clip of a sex tape that tries to make me look guilty and play into every stereotype you could possibly imagine. That video should actually be 10 minutes or so. Hey, Tony, instead of releasing your edit, put the whole video out. I don't have it, or I would myself. You know what happened, and you're trying to manipulate the media. The encounter in question took place during the day at her invitation, and now that appears to be a deliberate setup, coordinated by Gabby, also known as Carly on OnlyFans. Gabby and Tony Busby want $50 million. What they're getting is sued for defamation and trying to take me down. My career is all about real talk and honesty. I know my family and fans know exactly what this is about. And I'm going to be out there telling you whatever I need to say, just like I always do. I love all you guys.
The only problem, Shannon, is this isn't sports talk. He also released a statement. And you're saying that people don't believe this is his statement.
Yeah, people are saying that the way this, specifically the top paragraph where it says...
Wait, hang on. By the way, this statement is to announce that he's stepping away from ESPN.
Yeah, so people are saying, I guess hypothesizing, that Shannon didn't actually write this, that this is a copy and paste job, apparently, from his marketing firm, because this top part says, my statement is found here and this is the truth. There were like people are saying that this is written weirdly. I'm not really getting that sense, but like I'm noticing like the reaction to this is everyone saying that this is like not like genuine. Like this is somehow like, not fabricated, but just not great.
Not from the heart.
Not from the heart, basically. That's kind of the initial reaction to this right now. And I don't know, man. I every day that goes by with this situation, I'm sitting here and I'm saying, I agree with you more and more. Like, at what point do you get out of this situation? At what point do you say, okay, hey, look, like, all right, Tony, you got me. Let's put this to bed. Like, how are we gonna move on from this, bro? Like, I don't know what else you do here.
I am amazed that we're in a spot where we have Shannon Sharpe being allowed to make a decision. And I think it's important to note another audio recording was released, and it's worse than the previous. That's allegedly Shannon Sharpe. And now today he has announced he's taking a leave from ESPN. And what did I tell you about this Stephen A. Smith video yesterday?
Yeah.
Not to pat myself on the back. This is a dumpster fire for ESPN.
I spoke to Shannon. Not in details, but I spoke to him. And he emphatically proclaims his innocence. According to Mr. Busby, his client emphatically proclaims his guilt. There are layers to this, and there are certain layers even I am not on. I can tell you, I also spoke to co-chairman of Disney, the boss, Jimmy Pitaro, who made it very, very clear we are taking this matter very seriously, and we are looking into this very, very closely. And once we gather as many facts as we possibly can, we will go from there. In my perfect world, this equates to Jay-Z, where the case ultimately dropped and Shannon is allowed to continue on First Take and continue to thrive and shine. And not just that, and have an illustrious career in the podcast stratosphere, doing Nightcap with Chad Ochocinco, doing Club Shay Shay, and ultimately gets this $100 million deal that he was all over the news about to sign just a couple of days before this report came out.
But you're painting him to be a victim.
Yeah.
And I can tell you one thing, no matter what you hear on either side of this, I don't view Shannon Sharpe as a victim here. And the only thing that I think absolves him is if that recording, the recordings we've heard of Shannon Sharpe, if they're AI and fake and that's not really his voice and she fabricated them. That would be, in my opinion, the only thing that absolves him. And I just don't think that that's the case. Because I think when you listen to what Shannon Sharpe has said, I have not, and you guys correct me, I have not one time heard him say, that's not me, I never said that. I've never heard him deny saying these things.
Well, you're coming to LA tomorrow?
Yes.
Well, I don't know why you want to go out.
Don't worry about it, Gabby.
Well, okay.
Okay, what?
Well, I'm not really interested in getting choked, so I guess we're going.
Yeah. I might choke you in public. Big black guy chokes small white woman.
How do you say that?
Wild.
That's what I'm struggling with. And I'm not saying that I believe that's Shannon Sharpe. We're saying allegedly because that's what the etiquette requires. Dude, I think that's Shannon Sharpe's voice.
Here's
and
the other reporting that's coming out is that him and this girl have gotten together, have been physical, allegedly over 100 times over the last 2 years.
And nobody's denying that.
Yeah. And so I have to say, and if you can go back to the show. I think it was Tuesday we first talked about this. I think might have been Monday. You know, the first time I caught wind of this Shannon Sharpe situation, I have to say it had a lot of shades of the Trevor Bauer thing, right? If you think about like, you know, the Trevor Bauer thing, there weren't tapes like this, but there were loads of messages and DMs and pictures of you guys remember the picture of like her black eye, and like there was a lot of this sort of back and forth war going on of like, hey, you're putting out this picture, but look at these texts. And you know, again, we're not showing the texts that keep coming out because they're just so heinous. But I have to say, if you go and read the text that TMZ has, and they have a lot of them, I have to say Shannon's not a victim, but the things that she says to Shannon does support the concept and the depth of their relationship, which would be, hey, like we've gotten together a ton. We text each other nasty ass things all the time. And then we get together and we do these things. And so what I'm struggling with the Shannon Sharpe situation is, number one, why the hell does Shannon keep talking? Number one,
I don't know.
But then number two,
I don't know.
You know, number two, at what point, Shannon, do you say to yourself, yeah, man, like one time, okay, I guess that's still bad decision making, but over 100 times, and
you were in an extended sexual relationship with this girl.
So that right there, if we just stop right there, that makes you look terrible, Shannon. Like, let's just be real.
And according to reports, Shannon Sharpe met this girl at a gym when he was 54 and she was 20.
Like right there, it's over. You're done.
And I can't tell you, it was at least half a dozen people texted me and DM'd me yesterday and said, great point. When I said, you're a 100 millionaire, you're a famous athlete, an NFL football legend, and a Pro Football Hall of Famer, and you picked up a girl at a public gym? And what were you, doing at a public gym? What were you doing picking up women at a public gym? What were you doing smashing with a 20-year-old who's an OnlyFans performer? All of those things are they're not red flags. Like, she is on fire with, this is not probably smart for you, Shannon.
Yeah. Yeah.
And the other damning thing that I can't get away from is he's never denied he said the things that we have heard him say allegedly.
Yeah. In fact, what did he say?
Release the whole tape.
The tape should be 10 minutes.
He never said, oh, that's AI. That's not her voice. That's not my voice.
Cut this up.
This is doctor.
Yeah.
He's never denied that. So, and I've seen all the people saying, oh, that's AI. That doesn't sound. He's never said that. And if it was not him, and if that tape was doctored and falsified and he didn't say those things, you don't think he'd be jumping up and down with his attorney over that? Of course he would.
What is he doing here? Damage control.
Yes.
That's what this is.
And what should he be doing? He should be cutting a check like a long time ago.
Because look at the statement that he has put out here, saying that this is a shakedown, and you know, this is, you know, what does he say here at the top?
At this juncture, I'm electing to step aside temporarily from my ESPN duties. He said at the top, my statement found here, the relationship in question was 100% consensual.
So your defense is not that this is not you. Your defense is that, no, I did not commit sexual assault. This was 100% consensual, and this is a cash grab. That's your defense. Okay, well, if that's your defense, then all of this is going to get run through the media. All of this is going to get put out into the public. And again, and this is the point you make, credit to you, it's the same thing as Trevor Bauer in the sense that it doesn't matter at this point even what actually happened because now you're done, dude. It's over for you.
And again, ESPN released a statement saying this is a serious situation and he needs to step away. We agree with his decision to step away. And when you read what they said, this is a serious situation. We agree with Shannon's decision to step away. And everybody defending him, he said this is a consensual relationship. He's never denied saying this.
You're just going to like get mad at and you're just going to hang up on me. So I feel like
I'm not going to hang up on you. Here's what it is.
What does that even mean?
Nothing yet. You want to be a dick to me now, so.
I don't want to be. Don't manipulate me.
Oh, no, have mercy. If you say that one more time, I'm going to choke the out of you when I see you.
You say that out loud. You can't even think that and be normal. You're talking about, like, that's what I'm saying. So I think if you're ESPN, he can never appear on your air again.
Well, and again, if you put a statement back up on the screen, what's he say at the bottom? Hey, my goal is to be back by the time NFL preseason gets going. That's what he said. Like,
yeah,
I don't know how that's possible. Right there in the third paragraph.
Yeah, I'll be devoting this time to my family and responding and dealing with these false and disruptive allegations set against me. I plan to return to ESPN at the start of the NFL preseason.
Yeah, good luck with that, dude. Good luck with that. Because I again, and maybe Shannon needs better people, right? I don't know, but someone needs to get this dude to understand that ESPN is the least of your problems at this point. Like your return and like, because I feel like him saying that is like this effort or this kind of strategy to say, hey, everything in my life is not going to change, right? My life is going to stay exactly how it is. This is a cash grab. This is Tony Busby is only out here to damage my reputation because I'm a black man, just like he did to Jay-Z and all these other dudes, right? Like that's been Shannon's angle. And I wish somebody would say to Shannon, bro, if you're not careful, like you are going to be irreparably damaged from this. There is no coming back.
And I point out again, and then I want your thoughts on my question to you in the comments section. Can Shannon Sharpe ever appear on ESPN again? And I want to point this out. Where have you seen or heard Shannon Sharpe deny choking this woman? Did you read the TMZ report today that Jake is referencing? They had a 3-year relationship that included choking and physical rough sex over 100 times.
Which, in Shannon's defense, again, shade to Trevor Bauer, that's not illegal. That's not a crime, right? That is not, on its face, that's not anything wrong. But again, and this is what we don't know. How did we go from you guys are texting and doing all this nasty stuff together that you enjoy clearly to she's suing you for $50 million? How does that work? Where and then the other thing that got brought up today too, which I feel like this is probably coming out of the Busby camp, I'm guessing. But this whole thing where Shannon was allegedly involved in a coworker incident at FS1, on the FS1 set, I should say, where, they allege that he, choked somebody there. Fox, the verbiage was like Fox decided to handle it privately, and Shannon says that was just a couple of guys, messing around together. Like all this stuff is coming out. Right? Like everything.
I'm surprised. Well, I'm not surprised. I'm thankful there haven't been other accusers
yet.
I am thankful there haven't been other accusers. And I'm hopeful there won't be. It's a miracle how this girl is not pregnant unless Shannon is clipped. I don't know.
Who knows, dude? That's I have to say that
thankfully
Respectfully, that's just not, in my opinion, of consequence in this conversation.
Oh, can you imagine if they had a child? Oh, my God. No. Jay McClanahan, when are you around that type of crazy situation? Shannon needs to get a hobby, but not the public gym, dude.
How have you not have a gym built in your house, dude? If you're a 100 millionaire, you tell me you don't have a gym in your house?
Quinn Taylor doesn't sound natural. You mean the voice? But he's okay. Let's go with that theory. If that voice is AI, why hasn't Shannon come out and said that?
The thing that doesn't sound natural to me is not his voice. I think it is his voice. My opinion is I do think that's his voice. The only part of it that potentially is suspect to my ear is the speech pattern of it. It's choppy. It doesn't sound like they're going back and forth.
But why hasn't he said that?
Yeah, I agree. Yeah, I agree completely.
That's if it's AI and that's not his voice, and they're creating a voice that is believed to be you saying you choke this woman, or you will choke this woman, or I'll choke you in public. He would be saying that, you guys. Come on. Gabriel, why is ESPN and sports media full of drama? ESPN is starting to turn me off. Glad the NBA is going to NBC next year. It's not leaving ABC and ESPN. I think this is what you get. And when you have social media and you have guys that make bad decisions, you know why this is happening? Because ESPN hired a bad dude, allegedly.
And now one of ESPN's top dogs is defending that bad dude.
And I think you're in a position here where I don't know how you fix it. That's what I'm trying to say here is we all have the things we do behind our bedroom door.
Yeah.
And it's all well and good until we find out the cigar got smoked in the Oval Office. It's all well and good until we found out she was a Padre fan with Trevor Bauer.
Mm-hmm.
It's all well and good until we find out Tiger is doing it with Perkins waitresses next to a dumpster. Because we put stigma on those people so they can never be in the mainstream again. And it's very few and far between. Tiger Woods overcame it.
Yeah.
Who else has overcome it? Bill Clinton hasn't. Right? And then the Epstein stuff that's alleged.
The only guy that overcame it's the best that we've ever seen at what he does. Bill's not the best we've ever seen in what he does. Shannon's not the best we've ever seen in what he does.
I don't know how you get away from it. And I don't know that you do. And maybe you don't deserve to. How is Shannon not wealthy enough to make this go away? He is. And he should have made it go away before it ever went public.
He's refusing to. See, that's the problem. See, he lowballed. The problem is, see, and this is why I don't think Shannon's got great people around him. So this pops up, right? Busby calls you. Or calls your lawyer, let's say.
And I still maintain that's one of the worst moments you've ever had in your entire life if he's calling your phone.
So Buddy's calling your phone, and the offer, they're asking for 50 and you offered 10? Like, that's disrespectful, dude.
I would agree with that.
That's going to aggravate the situation. And that is why when we're getting comments like, how is he not wealthy enough to make this go away? That's why. Because now we've graduated from a wealth conversation to a premise conversation. If someone brings you a problem,
truth,
and they say, hey, here's what the solution is, and you say, here's 10% of the solution. Okay, cool. Well, you can take your 10% and shove it, and here's the bird.
Are you really
as well.
trying to solve the problem if you're willing to,
10% is not going to solve the problem, dude. Like, come on.
We'll never know what really happened. I just don't think we'll ever know.
And, the bigger issue is you offered 10 million. I'm assuming because you thought that this wouldn't go anywhere. I'm just guessing, which also, in my opinion, sends a bit of a message that you think maybe you're above this. You think maybe this isn't that huge of a deal, or at that time you did, right? Because if you thought this was a big deal and you were concerned about that $100 million podcast deal, you'd have put this thing to bed ASAP.
And that's the other thing that I think guys like Shannon don't think about. And maybe it's because he's got a lot of money in the bank and he's got an NFL pension.
When did we get to a place when just because you had a lot of money, like you just got away with being just making awful decisions? I'm not even saying being a good person. right? Because I think whether you're 100 millionaire or you're broke, being a good person is a choice that you can make, right? Like doing right by other people is a choice that we can all make.
Yep. Roche, I have a feeling she'll win the money she deserves, but it'll be less than 10 million.
Well, let's be careful saying the money she deserves.
Yeah, I don't know about that. Lopes fan Gabe, why does every audio clip we've heard during this entire debacle sound so choppy and heavily edited? It makes it hard to take any of it seriously.
Yeah, agreed.
Because I think, and I'll play it again, I think there is a chance it's edited. I don't know. We don't know. It clearly Shannon says it's not the entire tape, which obviously we all know, right? But how edited does this sound to you?
You're just gonna like get mad at and you're just gonna hang up on me. So I feel like
I'm not gonna hang up on you. Here's what it is.
what does that even mean?
Nothing yet. You want to be a dick to me now, so.
I don't want to be. Don't manipulate me.
Oh, Lord have mercy. If you say that one more time, I'm going to choke the out of you when I see you.
That doesn't sound edited to me.
See, I was gonna say that sounds a little edited to me. Meaning
the haze in the background?
Not the haze. We play one more time. What I want you to listen to is the tenor of the conversation, like the tone of it. Hey, they're kind of, that first part is fine, right? They're going back and forth. The answers make sense. The answers are timely. But then we just do this thing where the dial just turns up.
Right, because she said, don't manipulate me, and that pissed him off. That pissed him off.
Yeah, maybe.
Okay, here it is again.
You're just gonna like get mad at and you're just gonna hang up on me. So I feel like
I'm not gonna hang up on you. Here's what it is.
What does that even mean?
Nothing yet. You want to be a dick to me now, so.
I don't want to be. Don't manipulate me.
Oh, Lord have mercy. If you say that one more time, I'm going to choke the out of you when I see you.
Yeah. I don't know. It's at a minimum, it's questionable. At a minimum. At a minimum, it's questionable.
But the other question I'll continue to ask here is, did he know he was being recorded?
There's no way he knew he was being recorded.
How is that legal?
Yeah.
How is it legal that you can illegally record somebody on a phone and then leverage them with that recording? I mean, there's got to be, maybe I'm wrong. I'm not a lawyer, but there's got to be, yeah. Gabriel, not going to lie, what makes it worse is it's being reported by TMZ. TMZ is one of the most credible journalistic organizations in the world.
Yeah.
I would.
Yeah, I don't know why you think TMZ is not good, dude.
Harvey is a lawyer. They do it right. Why does his background noise go away when she talks? Because noise cancellation.
Yeah, because she's recording him on a third device. That's why.
That's exactly what I think. And let's not state that as fact. We think that's why.
Well, I don't know how else. So I don't know how else you would do this. I guess you could screen record it, I suppose, but screen recording would not capture her side of the call at that point. That's the problem. If you use the screen record function on your iPhone, it will only capture what the phone is putting out.
Yes.
So we wouldn't have been able to hear
I would guess, based on on my experience recording audio off of a phone, my guess is she's on speakerphone. And she is holding a speakerphone, and she's probably got a microphone next to it.
Yeah.
That would be my guess. I don't know that to be fact. And so you hear her talk, and then when she stops, the noise from the speaker fills the space.
Yeah.
That's not abnormal at all. At all. For me, even if Shannon wins in court, he is going to be untouchable by any media outlet. He's going to lose no matter what. Oh, he's lost already. Trevor Bauer won hands down over. He can't win. She'll never get the pro rata she deserves because this is narcissistic rage at its finest, dude. On both sides, in my opinion. Big Daddy Magic. Hey, playa, he went. Offer any money if he was innocent. Plus, you had a great point. If it wasn't him or if it was a guy, he would have been knocking on his lawyer's door at the crack of dawn. Totally agree. But he wouldn't have offered money. I don't agree with that. If you're Shannon Sharpe and you're $100 millionaire, and you have your sex partner who you've had physical sex with that that according to TMZ included choking.
Yeah.
And was of a physical nature. And she says, I'm going to release this and sex tapes. Give me $10 million. And you're $100 millionaire. $10 million is a tax write-off, man.
Mm-hmm.
It's a tax write-off. You pay that to your lawyer. It's a legal fee. You can write that off your taxes. At that point, guilty, innocent, it doesn't matter. If $10 million keeps that from coming out, what do you care? You're a $100 millionaire. You're about to sign a $100 million podcast deal. You made a ton of money in the NFL. You're an NFL vested veteran. You have a pension. You're a Pro Football Hall of Famer. You're on ESPN. But no, that deal didn't get done. You Stadium Guy James, you offer money even if you're innocent because you want her to go away and you want the story to die. That's exactly right. Can ESPN void his contract after a guilty verdict? But this isn't a guilty or innocent verdict.
Mm-hmm.
This is not a criminal case. It's a civil case. And there are lawsuits that are allegedly filed between the two. The ESPN likely has enough in their morality clause that's in every Disney contract. As somebody that was a contractor there, trust me, it's in every contract. They have enough now to void the contract if they wanted to. But I would also tell you that's a bad look. If you just whack him right away, that's a bad. ESPN has had a checkered past with black talent at the network.
Mm-hmm.
It has not always gone well for them. And the separation has not always gone well for them. So I think I would be measured. And I don't care, in my mind, I don't care what color your skin is. You need to be measured when you terminate somebody in a situation like
100%.
this. Put them on leave. Let them work through their legal stuff outside of the confines of ESPN.
Yeah, because you also have to take into account if you fire him, it's a bad look for Shannon all the way around.
Yes, I agree. Fat Jesus. I'm Arizona. Only one person in the conservative I'm Arizona. Only one person in the conversation needs to know that it's being recorded. Probably true in other states. Could be. Absolutely. And they were in California and Nevada. So, Roche, oh yeah, that's what airplane mics do. Makes sense. Yeah.
Yeah.
Red wine. I'll reserve righteous judgment till the Joe Friday facts are presented. Well, I think there's a lot of facts presented, and people aren't arguing that they're the facts.
And you need to be prepared when the treasure trove of text messages eventually comes out on this, because I do think it will come out.
Shannon needs to put this to bed, dude.
Yeah, I mean, so again, this is the double-edged sword. I think that could really help him win this, if you will, or save money. At the same time, it's going to make him look like, he is absolutely a wild person behind the scenes.
I think it is a death knell to his career.
Yeah, which is very difficult.
You don't get away from that.
But again, this is, all jokes aside, you made this bet, dude. Now it's time to line it.
Yep. What did I miss? Also, dude. Gumby.
Dude.
Can ESPN? Yes, we already read that one. Excuse me. Those text messages are extremely bad, dude.
Yeah.
I mean, ooh. I mean, not good at all. All right, you guys, we're 27 minutes away from opening the NFL draft here on the Monty Show. Let's reset our prize picks. And yeah, if you guys are just tuning in, we put up about $800 to the advocates today to fight childhood hunger. We talked about the NFL draft. We're getting you ready for what I think is going to be. I think there are going to be big trades in the top 5. I think Mary Kay Cabot is reporting in Cleveland. Jake has a crush on her.
I don't.
Jake thinks Mary Kay Cabot is hot as hell. And he would like to field a football team with her. But what is your crush saying that the Browns are now? Not to, and maybe it needs to be I told you so Thursday here on the Monty Show.
Hey, Monty.
What did I tell you yesterday?
That they were going to trade.
The Cleveland Browns, I think, are going to trade out of that spot. What is your hotness saying in Cleveland?
She's saying that the Browns, quote unquote, have something cooking at number 2 and to strap in for the draft. So apparently,
but her words, not yours.
Her words, not mine. Yeah, that's what she said.
In today's climate, you want to be careful. But Jake is a huge Mary Kay Cabot fan. That's what you told me before the show.
No, that's not what I told you. No.
She's an excellent reporter.
Yeah.
Mary Kay.
Yeah.
One of the longest, what's the problem here? One of the longest.
Nothing. I'm sure she's good at what she does.
She is excellent at what she does.
Yeah.
One of the longest sitting beat writers in the country. Mary Kay Cabot's an excellent NFL writer. I think Cleveland, the Giants, Jacksonville, and the Chicago Bears. I could see Las Vegas and New Orleans as well. I could see 5 trades in the top 10. I just think there's so much there.
Yeah.
Which is why, if you are, if you're a prize picker, such as in like ourselves,
right,
which is different than a nose picker, I had to. It's what do you want from me? Here's what I have on the draft tonight on Prize Picks. SEC players drafted 3.5 in the top 10 picks. Yes, more. Ashton Ginty, lower than 6.5. Now I'm a little nervous about that because I think the Bears could trade up.
Yeah.
Travis Hunter, either picked first or second. I picked yes. Yes. Those are my 3 in the draft tonight. What do you have in the draft tonight?
Let me hang on 1 second. Trying to get it to load.
Do I go with a second one? First rounders wearing sunglasses. 3.5, less or more.
Yeah, I mean, that's tough, dude.
Goodell booed on stage for less than or more than 10.5 seconds.
I had that for more than 10.5.
Look at Shedeur's draft position has changed. 11.5, higher or lower?
I'm taking higher.
11.5.
Or I guess I'd be taking lower, right? No, higher.
Higher.
If I think he's,
You think he'll be picked 1 through 11?
Yeah. I have mentions of the word drip more than 2.5 times in the first round.
Wow.
I have Mel Kiper saying the word upside more than 3.5 times in the first round. And Goodell booed on stage more than 10.5 seconds.
I think you're going to win. I think you're going to sweep that.
Yeah.
I think you're going to sweep that. Download the Prize Picks app. Use the promo code Monty to open a new Prize Picks account. You deposit $5, it'll give you 50 more instantly. Now, I would like to say, I did end the cold streak last night. I won 2 of 3. Bro, your boy had been in trouble. I had been
hemorrhaging.
Oh my God. I had a run of just death on Prize Picks. And then I would like to thank Steph Curry for hitting 4 3-pointers, Donovan Mitchell for shooting 10 3-pointers, and Jaylen Brown for 5 3-pointers made last night.
Yeah.
I would like to thank Matthew Boyd for striking out less than 5, and screw you, Shohei, for not getting 1.5 hits, runs, and RBIs. Kyle Tucker only had 1 hit, run, or RBI. That was a loss. But then, of course, the night before, 3 for 3, Shedeur! Ian Happ and Dustin May all came through for me.
Nice, dude.
Are we doing baseball tonight, or should I just sit on the draft?
Nah, stay on the draft, dude.
James Harden, 22.5 points feels like a gimme.
I for my NBA one, I've got Kawhi more than 23.5 tonight points. Chet for more than 16.
Chet the Jet, please.
And Ja for less than 25.
If we could get it back to Chet the Jet, that'd be great.
Chet the Jet.
If we could get Chet the Jet, I would be thrilled with that. I feel like we're in a position here where there's a lot of unanswered questions around the draft, and I think when we look at the way that Shedeur Sanders is being treated, I think that's a huge storyline. I think the Cleveland Browns now are fascinating because in my opinion, the Cleveland Browns are on the clock. We're 21 minutes away from opening the draft, which means we're going to get some emotional ceremonies here, and there's going to be
Jay Glazer's reporting that the Jags and Browns trade appears like it's going to go down and talks.
Wow! Nailed it!
Yeah.
This guy!
Nothing is done until it's done, but Jay Glazer is saying he feels like there's a good chance that'll happen. So. No, I'm not playing your games. I'm not playing your games.
What do you mean? You're not going to give me some love here.
Yeah, you did a good job with that. You did. You did.
Monty told you Thursday. And Jackwagon over here won't even give me any love on it. Are you kidding me? That's
stay hard.
As usual. Shaboy got it right. I would not be surprised if the Jags trade up to get Travis Hunter.
Yeah.
That makes a lot of sense. That makes a heck of a lot of sense. Give Monty a hug, Jake.
Dude.
Yes.
Pete Carroll tweeted draft clue number 1 Raider Nation with a GIF of these two dudes from the movie.
Michael B. Jordan.
People are speculating this means that they're going to try and get Shedeur and Travis.
No.
That's what they're speculating.
How are you going to get Shedeur and Travis?
I have no on this.
Travis is
no
going to be
idea.
a Jaguar. Is that a good place for him?
Good place.
I mean, it gives them the most intriguing player in the entire draft.
Yeah. I mean, can't miss pick, you know? I mean, that's, yeah, you can't miss that. You can't miss on him. So, yeah, I guess.
I think that'd be difficult.
Yeah.
Hey, do you guys have a P.O. box? Totally don't expect you to go, but I want to send you guys an invitation to my wedding reception.
Oh.
Why don't you just email it to Jake?
Yeah, just DM me, bro.
Yeah, we can work something out.
When is it?
Big Daddy Magic. That would be awesome if Travis Hunter became a Buffalo Bill. It's not going to happen. If Travis Hunter goes to the Buffalo Bill, I'll buy you a Travis Hunter Buffalo Bills jersey. What he could do with a real quarterback could be. Hey, thank you, Big Daddy Magic, for your in-depth work on the dryer and giving me some on the draft and giving me some Bills draft news. Jake should buy you a good lobster dinner. I totally agree. Jeremiah Champion. Yes, you can DM Jake. I bet he wants to fill the football team with her. Wow. Okay.
Okay.
Do you want to field a football team? Okay.
No.
The Natural. She was one of my professors in college. No joke. Yeah, Mary Kay Cabot's a stud.
Yeah.
She is fantastic. The Natural. She had a class of all freshman athletes. Whoa. Monty 1203. Yay. This cough, you guys.
Endless, dude.
I need I need
endless.
I need to not talk for a year. Simon Pfeiffer. Hello, Simon Pfeiffer. Hey, Monty, love the show. Well, love you, Simon. Appreciate it. Thank you. Is that Lewis Hamilton's car? I believe that's a Ferrari right there. That's Ferrari red for sure. As long as the Thunder don't chet the bed and let Memphis back in this thing. So don't chet the bed.
Chet the bed. See what he did there? It all kind of works together. You know,
they're introducing all the players in the waiting room, and there's soon to be Chicago Bear Ashton Ginty.
Nice Crocs, dude.
There's Ashton Ginty. He's
not
wearing the Crocs.
He's
not wearing the Crocs.
What did I tell you?
He's not wearing the Crocs.
What did I tell you, dude? No way in hell you were walking across the draft stage for the biggest moment of your life in Crocs.
And look at Will Johnson from Michigan dressing like a hobo.
Come on, dude.
He actually looks very nice. Give Monty a hug, Jake. Thank you. Seth Hatmaker. How far for a gap wedge? 120, 125. Oh, you watched our video. He watched our Wrigley Field video.
Yes, he watched. It was a good one.
I'm thinking about putting the 4-iron and the gap wedge back in the bag. I'm thinking about I need the 4-iron, I think.
Okay.
What?
Yeah, I mean.
What?
You have options. You have some hybrids. You got the 4-iron.
Because I go deep.
Right.
It's what I do.
Right.
It's what I do. I love, real quick, just a golf thing, but before we get back to the draft, I have a video on my TikTok of me hitting on a TrackMan bay. No way that ball went 300. Okay. People are so stupid.
It's all a lie.
Yeah. Bold predictions. The Panthers take Sanders. You think? I think the problem with that is Bryce Young was really good at the end of the year.
Yeah.
That's what I think. I would love to see Travis go to the Steelers, but I don't think that's going to happen. And July 5th, I can't go. I would love to go. I'll be in Chicago with the Cubs. Mrs. Monty, you can go. Mrs. Monty and I have planned out. Can I just tell you that the plan for the 4th of July in Chicago? Come on. Brandon Butler, if the Jags get Hunter, Ginty is in play for the Bears. Big time. The Bears need to trade up to get Ashton Ginty, and I think they will. Stadium Guy James, no, I am going to hope that Dallas trades Dak. You just
stop.
You won't let it go.
Help yourself.
You won't let it go. Gets the number 2 pick and gets Travis. Then uses number 12 if Shedeur falls out of the top 10. If they could get both, that would be epic. But again, James, I'm asking you, what is it that you need Dak Prescott to do better? Or what is it that you think Shedeur Sanders is better at than Dak Prescott? That's the question that nobody can ever answer.
Nope.
This cough has taken its toll on Monty. Dude, you're not even joking.
Yeah, rest will be very helpful.
The only time I cough is doing this show. Talking on the phone sometimes. I had a huge meeting today, coughed a little bit during that meeting. But really, the only time I cough, I'm sleeping so well. I should show you guys this. By the way, we are just 13 minutes away from the NFL draft. We will be on the air for the number 1 and number 2 pick. Let me show you my sleep real quick. You guys want to see sleep? That's called sleep right there, friends. Can you see that at all? You probably can't. That's really good sleep. Trust me. The contrast is too high. The contrast is too high.
Yeah.
That's really good sleep. I'm sleeping great. So Seth, who makes hats. So the Panthers spend that kind of money on O-line. Where do you go, dude? If I'm the Carolina Panthers, I'm trying to get much better defensively, right? I don't know. I don't know what you do. You have so many needs on that team.
Yeah.
Right? If I look at the Panthers, I would think it's defense. Oh, that's right. Dan Morgan's there now. It's probably secondary. Because if you can't get to the quarterback, it's probably you want to cover. So there's a lot of good edge rushers in this draft. I probably would go edge.
Okay. Real quick, the draft festivities are beginning, obviously.
Yep, we just did the anthem.
Nice flyover. Seems like everything's moving in the right direction here.
Yeah, I think everything's in the right direction, even though it's in Green Bay. So,
dude, that crowd is wild, though.
Adam Schefter said, when assessing how the top 10 picks will unfold tonight, a well-placed source said, quote, expect explosives. I'm here for it, dude. I am here for it.
Okay, so do we think someone's going to move up in the draft to get Abdul Carter then? Is that what we're saying?
I think if somebody trades up with the Giants, it's to get a quarterback.
Yeah.
I don't know how you would go somewhere else. If you're Carolina and Mason Graham is there, do you pass on Mason Graham? If you're Carolina and Javon Walker's there.
That's tough, bro.
Probably the best edge in the draft next to Abdul Carter. Huge players of need. I think you have to. It's why I say if you're Jacksonville and you can get up to 3, don't you take Don't you take that shot and draft Travis Hunter?
Yes.
He might be the real only sure thing in this draft. I don't know how you don't. If you're the Chicago Bears and you can get up to number 5 and you can get Ashton Jeanty, are you telling me you don't?
Yeah, you have to.
These things make too much sense not to do them.
Yes.
But how many times will I say tonight, as we're now just 10 minutes away from the opening of the NFL draft, how many times will I say tonight, that team doesn't have a quarterback, it's ridiculous you did that? Because if I go up and down this draft board, Tennessee absolutely has to draft Cam Ward or who they think is their best quarterback. No doubt about it. The Cleveland Browns do not have a quarterback. Did you do your homework on the quarterbacks and you just don't grade a guy anywhere in the top 30 picks as a first-round franchise quarterback? You don't look because what you're saying is you don't view Deion's kid or Jaxson Dart as franchise quarterbacks.
Right.
If you trade out of that number 2 spot, there's going to be hell to pay for not drafting Travis Hunter. You had better get a haul, and you had better pick up another first-round pick. Because otherwise,
what are you doing?
What are you doing? I think you have, and Andrew Berry, in my opinion, is one of the best general managers in the NFL. I have no doubt about that. And we're just 9 minutes away from the NFL draft now. I have no doubt in my mind that if you are Andrew Berry, you have a plan and you are going to execute that.
Yeah.
And now we're seeing pictures of guys on phones. So the storytelling's already started in the draft.
Yes. Yeah,
right?
I mean, I think, this draft is, like we've been saying the whole week, man, people's legacies as a front office executive are going to be made or broken this draft. And there are some guys who obviously are established executives, other guys who are new to this. And, there's not a lot of drafts that come along like this, with all due respect. This draft has a lot of talent in it, has a lot of guys who are game wreckers, guys who can make plays, instantly make you better. Honestly, probably guys in this draft that are worth a couple wins on their own, if you really consider it. Like, Travis Hunter on his own is probably worth 2-3 wins in the NFL in any given season based on the plays that he's capable of making. So, I mean, you think about the decisions that these guys are going to go ahead and make tonight, and, you're legitimately making decisions that could knock you out of the playoffs or put you in. And I think that's where I say, like, when we're getting reports from beat writers and NFL folks talking about how the Jags and the Browns are, looking at moves and, the Jags are cooking something up, and it's like, all right, but what does that mean? Because that doesn't mean that that's always the right decision. That just means that they're going to try and trade and do what they think is the right decision.
How many GMs get fired tonight?
Right? Like, how many make a bad decision that ultimately leads to their end? Like, that's
multiple.
Like, that'll happen tonight, multiple times.
Multiple times tonight.
What is the Mr. Duval, their head coach they hired from Tampa that I can never remember his name? Duval. God, okay, dude. Okay.
How pedo was that?
So weird, dude.
I mean, it is, and we used to have it. Do we still have it?
No. I don't think we do.
We don't oh man, dude. That's an all-time video.
Yeah.
Oh, we have it right here.
Oh, fucking God.
We don't have it. But you can't fault me for playing Aaron Rodgers coming out of the darkness, can you?
No.
You can't.
So here's our first reporting in. The Titans are not moving off their pick.
Well,
so but I'm just saying it matters. Well, when you're talking about people making
Liam
trades,
Cohen.
Liam
Cohen. What a freaking weirdo that guy is.
Yeah, we'll have fun finding a new job in 2 seasons, dude.
The Titans are taking. Here's what I think is going to happen. I think the Titans, they're taking Cam Ward. I think the Browns are trading out, and I think the Jacksonville Jaguars are trading in
to get Travis Hunter.
And the Jaguars will end up with Travis Hunter. I think the Giants will trade out, and I think there's a very good chance that the Raiders or the Saints trade into number 3 and select Shedeur Sanders.
Oh, see, I was going to say the other
or
way.
Jaxson Dart.
I was going to say Jaxson, yeah. I think
or
if
Jaxson
that
Dart.
trade happens, I think it's Jaxson Dart. Yeah, I think
the Raiders want Shedeur Sanders.
Yeah.
I do. And I think that.
Listen, I hope so. I believe in the kid. I think he's going to have a great career. I think he's a franchise guy, but we'll see.
I think the New England Patriots don't move and they're going to draft Will Campbell.
Which makes sense.
I think the Browns at number 5. I mean, if I had to guess the Browns, I mean, you're
not taking Ginty at that point?
I mean, you need Ginty, but you need a good skill position player. You need a quarterback. You need offensive line, certainly, right? Offensive line is probably your number 1 need. And if you're at number 5, Kelvin Banks from Texas looks awfully sexy there.
Yeah.
Like, if we're talking about that, Membu from Missouri looks really good, although I'm a Kelvin Banks guy. So I'd be looking at that. So I think the Browns will take O-line there, and I think the Raiders could draft Shedeur Sanders at 6.
I don't know. I think we got to consider the fact that the Bears get into the top 5. But
do you need to get into the top 5 to get Ashton Ginty?
Yes, I do.
You do?
Yeah, I think you do. Yeah,
you do.
Because I think Ginty. I think the 3 guys that are locks in the top 10 are obviously Cam Ward. I think Ginty, with everything that's gone on today, is a lock in the top 10. And then Travis Hunter. Yeah, I think someone's going to take him. I think his
4 minutes away.
His hype has been he is a guy.
Come on, put your balls on the table. Let's go.
What? Cam Ward, Travis Hunter, right? Then I think that if the
Giants,
Giants are taking Jaxson Dart. Who's after the Giants?
You idiot.
I can't remember who's after the Giants.
The Bears. No, I'm kidding. The Patriots at 4
are taking Buddy from Michigan.
I think they're taking Will Campbell from LSU.
Or I'm sorry, LSU.
Best
Will
offensive
Campbell,
lineman. Yeah.
Will Campbell.
Then it's the Jags. So you think the Jags make a trade?
Yeah. So I think the Jags will trade up, and that.
This will be the Browns.
This will be the Browns. Yes.
And you think the Browns do what?
I think they take Ginty.
And I think the Browns take a running back over an offensive lineman.
Yeah, I think so. And I think they will do that, and that will be the Browns' move of the night. Yep. And I
dude, I would fire Andrew Berry right now. I think Andrew Berry's way too savvy for that.
Well,
Brandon Butler, hopefully. Browns could do the smart thing for once. If the Browns get the 5 from Jacksonville, they may get a QB there and still pick up more picks.
And maybe they will.
Dude, could you imagine if they drafted Ginty? No way.
What are their other picks? What would be so right now, if no trade happens?
If no trade happens right now, you're just saying if the Browns
straight up right now, what do the Browns
have?
The
Browns have the first pick, the second pick of the first round, the first pick of the second round, the third pick, and 30th picks of the third round.
Okay, so they need to bridge that gap between.
They need to pick up another pick or 2.
Yeah.
If you can get 2 picks at the top of the second round, you're golden.
Yeah.
Bump down to 5, pick up another second round pick, dude.
Gosh, see, and what that makes me think about is, okay, if the Browns are trying to double up here and they're trying to get, let's say that it's the Ginty play. I think that that's a possibility, but let's say that you were to make the trade, draft Ginty at 5. Where do you get your quarterback from? Because that's ultimately what could really hurt you here. If Jaxson Dart gets drafted much higher than people think by the Giants at 3, he's no longer available. So then you're picking from obviously Shedeur and the rest of the group. Quinn Ewers, Tyler Shuck. But again, what
are we buying on Tyler Shuck?
I'm personally not, but again, I'm not putting this past the Browns, dude. The Browns have shown a propensity to do dumb things, with all due respect.
Dude, I can't imagine.
And I agree, Barry's a hell of an executive. It would be shocking. But is ownership willing to get the hell out of the way?
I can't imagine. Cam Ward, Shedeur Sanders, Jaxson Dart, the 3 best quarterbacks in the draft.
Yes.
At the top of the second round, Shook should be there, Milroe should be there, Will Howard, Quinn Ewers. I would take Quinn Ewers.
Yeah.
I think in that list, they can't risk Jalen Milroe.
Nope.
Quinn Ewers or Will Howard?
I would take Will, but that's just me.
I think that's really close. Man, that's going to be tight. And I still think that Omarion Hampton or Ashton Ginty is a very interesting question. Boy, this is going to be crazy because we are now
Let's go. Start the
less
clock.
than a moment away from the commissioner of the National Football League dropping the gavel on the first pick. Yeah, I agree, Brandon. No way the Browns take Ginty. They take Dart or Sanders. I don't know. Because I think they don't like Dart and Sanders. Because if you like Dart or Sanders, you wouldn't be trading out of that spot.
Right.
And my guess is they're going to take quarterback at the top of the second round. They'll take quarterback tomorrow night. I don't see him taking quarterback now. The Tennessee Titans are on the clock. Boy, Travis looks flipping good.
Yeah.
God damn. And there's his crazy girlfriend, too. You remember Travis Hunter had a girlfriend.
Yes, and he got past that.
He did. Well, and she never accused him of anything heinous.
No, the issue is that she was not happy for him.
So Shedeur Sanders is not at the draft. There's a live shot of where he's going to be sitting.
Yeah, nice couch, dude.
And it's empty.
Sick.
Shedeur's not on a scout.
Awesome.
Come
on, bro. Start the clock.
I hope he does not plummet. That should happen to nobody. What happened to guys like Aaron Rodgers? But they say it really builds character. And yeah, what are we doing here? We got a bunch of people on stage now. Can we please just start the NFL draft? Can we just drop the gavel on?
What are other people saying?
Come on.
What else is anyone
who's
saying?
the best G5 quarterback to be drafted? Probably Quinn Ewers. So Texas isn't
Texas isn't back, DJU.
DJU. Jesus. Seth, who makes hats, I would not have Ewers. Just doesn't have it. Plays not to lose. Has many strengths, but not my choice. Okay. Joseph Harper. Wouldn't surprise me if the Giants take QB with a later pick because they do have Russell there to bridge the gap for a year. And they've got Crab Stealer. So, big blue horses. I wouldn't be surprised to see the Giants avoid QB, go O-line or D, then next year go QB with a new head coach and GM. They don't need O-line. I don't think there's any doubt about that. They need QB number one.
Yeah.
O-line is in my opinion, a distant second. I think you've got to find, and I know they have Jameis and they have Russ. You don't win Super Bowls with those guys. Gabriel, imagine if Sanders is not drafted until the mid-second round. It'll never get that far. Hit the like button, y'all. Yeah, please. Johnny Gonzalez. We all agreed if the Browns pick number 2, Travis Hunter, if they trade out first-round quarterback later in the draft.
Yeah.
Could be.
Yeah, I agree.
Could absolutely be.
Okay, it appears we are starting.
All right. Gabriel says this draft is the most unpredictable in a long time. I think it is.
Yeah, I think it's really difficult to know what's going to happen.
I would agree with that. And I think
who's getting sold right now? Who's on the phone right now getting their ass sold?
It could be happening.
Okay, what are we doing? What? God, dude.
The commissioner is riding onto the stage at the draft on a bicycle. Am I seeing this correctly?
Please, this is great for me. Please. Hopefully, is the crowd booing? Is the crowd booing him? Yes, they are.
The crowd is booing him.
Ride your bike all
and he's
down the
riding
stage.
a bike. Jake is winning right now.
This should absolutely, positively count towards the 10.5 seconds.
Who are all these jerk faces riding out here on a bicycle? But now the problem is they're cheering because these are the Packers.
But that's okay. I'm good. If I got 5 seconds out of that and he hasn't said a word, we're in a great place. We are in a great place, bro.
Dude, you got to see how long that was.
It hasn't updated yet.
They're going to have to put a clock on that. Here we go. He's being booed. He's being booed.
He is being booed right now.
I think you got that in the bag, dude.
Still being booed. Okay, so that was like 5-6 seconds right
I
there.
think that's 10 seconds, dude.
I mean, come on.
They're booing again.
Come on, bro. Update. That should be a dub.
Jake's got it on Prize Picks, 10.5 seconds.
More than 10.5. So I need 11 seconds.
And homie rode out on a bicycle and rode around the stage by himself, and they were booing. So
we'll see, bro.
We'll have to see. I think
Start
that's a
the
win.
Damn clock, dude. Jesus.
I think that's a win. Come on, open the God.
Let's go. Damn.
You're 5 minutes late, jerk.
Let's go. God.
No redos.
I'm ready for the draft. I want to this Cleveland Browns pick. That's the one I want. I want to see the Cleveland Browns. Gabriel says Jake won it.
It has to be, right?
James says Jake nailed it.
I mean, it has to be.
They are still booing.
Prize Picks hasn't updated yet.
They still have not opened the draft. Oh my God. Are you kidding me that they are not on the clock yet? Are you kidding me that they are not on? This is ridiculous. Who cares? I don't want to hear. This is what I don't want. This is what I don't want.
I
don't give a rat's ass about Jordy Nelson. I don't care about Amon Green.
I don't care, bro.
Get out of
Shut
here.
the fuck up, Donnie.
Let's start the clock.
See, this is what I hate. We've been standing around all day doing what Dion says he doesn't do, waiting for the draft to start, and now I got to see stupid Clay Matthews.
Like, shave your head, loser.
And now Clay Matthews is talking about Donald Trump.
What are we
doing,
this
is terrible.
Oh, easily won. 25 seconds.
Jake wins. Jake
by
wins.
A mile, bro.
Jake wins on the booing. I hate this so much. I hate this so much.
Clock, dude. This
is so brutal that we're up here making a political statement instead of opening the draft.
Like, what a joke, dude.
This is absolutely brutal.
And I don't even give a damn that it's like a Donnie thing. I just start the clock. Like, I've been waiting for we, us have been waiting for months.
What is Lil Wayne doing on stage? Am I dreaming?
No, Lil Wayne has a thing.
That's Lil Wayne right there.
Yeah. Start the clock.
God, I can't. This is so bad. This is so bad.
What are people saying?
Gabriel, and we're off. Finally, the draft is open. Yes, draft begins. I get to listen to Monty and Jake while I chart my work. I'm winning. Yes, you do.
I mean, what a joke, dude.
LOL, forget the draft. The showroom today is winning. Yes, it is. Yes, it is.
This pick should be in already.
This is what we do in Packer country. Waste Bears fans' time.
Like, what a joke.
Yes,
dude.
we do.
Maybe, I know. Maybe if Aaron Rodgers had lived up to it, he'd be standing on the stage.
I mean,
jackass. Come on.
I am amazed that this is what we wind up dealing with. And anyway, we'll see. All right, the Tennessee Titans are on the clock. We are going to be here at least through the first 7 rounds of the NFL draft tonight.
That's a lie.
I think we'll probably be here. And we'll react to the Browns pick.
I don't know.
And we'll
Are we going to get more political conversations, or are we actually going to pick players tonight?
Yeah, it's really annoying that it's really annoying to me that he did that. Like we're here, the Green Bay Packers. The NFL draft entry is temporarily paused. The event venue has reached maximum capacity. General admission entry has been paused at this time. Thank you for your patience.
Cool.
Okay. Look, that's the problem. I guess problem. Isn't that the thing with Green Bay? Isn't it a college town?
Yeah.
I think it is. I absolutely think it is. So the Titans are on the clock. We are waiting for them. They are phoning in the pick now. And we should hear Cam Ward's name any second. So let's see what he does. And the reaction to Clay Matthews, he is getting torched. My God.
Cam Ward is on the phone.
Cam Ward is on the phone. This is very clearly
What
Cam
are people
Ward.
saying about Clay Matthews?
He's one of them. There's all kinds of LeBron walking out of press conference gifts being made. Cam Ward has apparently gotten the phone call. He has. Giants offered multiple picks for that first pick, and they said no. And I think Tennessee has their guy. Would it be a shocker if Tennessee took Travis Hunter at number 1? It's not going to happen. It is not going to happen. So we'll see. Sergeant Moorhew, welcome to the show. Listen, Cam Ward, in my opinion, he's a really talented quarterback. If you're picking here, are you taking Cam or Shedeur, Jake?
Man, I would probably still go Shedeur. I just prefer style play. I'm not saying Cam Ward sucks. I'm not saying he's not worthy of being the number 1 overall pick. All I'm saying is I prefer the way Shedeur plays the game. That's what I prefer. I prefer the mentals. I prefer his preparation style. I prefer, that would be the guy I would go with. It's totally philosophical. It's totally opinion based. It's not factual. I'm not saying that Shedeur has had more success. What I'm saying is I just think that he's a better fit in the NFL.
Yeah. And I'm not sure that I even disagree with any of that. I think that when you look at Cam Ward, what he did at Miami was overwhelming. And now the two of them, both of them by the end of the night will get a chance to prove that they are who we thought they were.
Yeah.
I think the thing that worries you about Cam is he trusts his arm too much and he makes really bad decisions. Thing that worries you about Shedeur is he holds onto the ball too long.
Yes.
I think that is very clear. And it'll be very interesting to see exactly which one of them has a more successful career. I do think that's very interesting. They're clearly taking Cam Ward, and they are showing the Titans draft room. Brought to you by Amazon Pharmacy.
Albert Breer, the Titans are on the phone with Cam Ward now, and it's just about done.
Yeah, it's simply a matter of time. What if he says, I don't want to be a Titan? Suck it. Hey, Cam, it's Jimmy from the Titans. Screw you.
Jesus.
I don't even know what you do there. That's the problem. And listen, I think Cam Ward is a big, strong guy, and I'm curious if he can bring that highlight tape to the NFL. Because I think all these people, like, they're comparing him to Patrick Mahomes. I think that's absolutely ridiculous.
Yeah.
I don't think that that's at all the comparison, in my opinion. I'm very curious to see, how well he does, because obviously Cam Ward's very good running to his left and throwing back over the middle of the field. And when it's good, it's good.
Yeah.
When it's good, it's really good. And it'll be very interesting to see how all that plays out. If I'm Shedeur Sanders, I am just hoping I do not fall to the second round. Because I think with all these trades are not good for Shedeur Sanders, in my opinion.
Yeah.
I think that's the number one thing. The pick is in, and we are just waiting for Cam Ward's name to be called. And then I think all hell will break loose. I am curious how long it takes for the Browns to trade this pick.
Yeah.
That's what I'm interested in.
I always hate that the number 1 pick takes so long. Like, we all know who it is. Like, let's go.
Yeah.
What are we waiting for, man?
Yeah. Mary Kay Cabot said 1 minute ago, I don't believe the Browns would trade away from Travis Hunter unless they got an extra first rounder in return. So Mary Kay Cabot believes that the Cleveland Browns are going to select Travis Hunter at number 2.
Okay.
Do you like that?
Yeah. I mean, I like I said, you can't go wrong with that pick. You're never going to hear me criticize him for picking Travis Hunter. I think that's, as reliable as it gets, game wrecker, huge impact player. Like, I can't blame you for taking him.
Adam Schefter. The Browns are trading the number 2 overall pick, a 4th-round pick, a 6th-round pick to the Jags. The Jags are trading the number 5 overall pick, a 2nd-round pick, and a 4th-round pick, and their 2026 first-round pick to the Browns. A massive trade. The Cleveland Browns have traded the number 2 pick to the Jacksonville Jaguars. The Browns have traded the number 2 pick. The Browns are trading the number 2 overall pick, a 4th-round pick, a 6th-round pick to the Jaguars. Jacksonville is trading the number 5, a 2nd-round pick, number 36, a 4th-round pick, and their 2026 first-round pick to the Browns. Wow. We nailed it. We nailed it.
So it's exactly what we thought.
The Browns are getting the number 36 pick overall. This really feels like, what do you think they do with that number 2 overall pick? Don't you have to go quarterback? No, you have to go Travis Hunter, excuse me.
Yeah, I think you're going to go Travis Hunter.
Yeah.
I think I just think that if you're the Jacksonville Jaguars, you're looking at this and you're saying, we got to have more for Trevor Lawrence to work with. Gotta be able to, you just got to give him more options. And again, I think Travis Hunter is, again, it's as surefire of a pick as you can get, man. He's an explosive athlete. He is obviously both sides of the football. And what'll be really interesting, and this is something we've talked about a lot, is how does the team that drafts Travis Hunter, assuming the Jacksonville Jaguars, how do they view him? Because if you view him, I'm just assuming you're viewing him as a wide receiver first, right? I mean, we're just assuming you're moving up in the draft to get this guy because you want him running routes for you.
Yeah.
I mean, it very well could be that they're doing this because they want a lockdown corner. So that's what I think is so fascinating about the Travis Hunter pick based on who takes him.
Now, what happens at 32 now? What happens at the bottom of the first round? I think this puts the top of the second round in absolute peril, because now the Browns have the 33rd and the 36th. This is absolutely...
And I agree with what Schefter just tweeted, which is with tonight's trade, the Browns are now armed to select a quarterback in this year or next year's draft. They currently own 3 of the top 36 picks, number 5, number 33, and number 36.
What did your boy tell you?
And they own the Jaguars' 2026 first-round picks.
Wow.
So this is exactly what we talked about, where you have options.
Wow.
And I have to say,
wow.
This for Shedeur Sanders is worst case scenario, I think, because now you're in a situation where Travis is clearly going to go number 2. Who the hell knows what the Giants are doing at number 3?
A quarterback needy team just traded out of the number 2 spot when you were available.
Yes.
So the Jags are not going to pick corner there or quarterback there. They're going to take Travis Hunter. Oh, man.
So then my question is, again, this brings me right back to, and this is kind of what you had brought up, if the Browns traded out, which now we know they have, and now they're at number 5, you're telling me they traded out and they're going to still go quarterback? Is that the game? That doesn't make sense to me, right? Why would you trade out if you were still going quarterback? Would it not make more sense to now watch the Giants take quarterback, the Patriots take O-line, and then from there, you as the Browns are going to take position player, in my opinion, right? Because you have Joe Flacco already. In my opinion, the Browns are not taking quarterback at 5. They're going to take position player, and this is where I say, okay, hey, you've got Joe Flacco, you've got Ashton Jinty, and you've got all these picks in the rest of the round, and you've got, 2 more in the first round here?
Yeah. I don't know I don't know.
So hear me out. Ashton Jinty, and then you're going to turn the late round pick into a quarterback, because quarterbacks are going to be available at that time.
I think if you're the Cleveland Browns, you're in position to do whatever it is you want to do.
Agreed.
My guess is I think you can't take Ashton Jinty there, can you?
I don't know, man.
I don't think you can take Ashton Jinty there. Oh, dude. Can you imagine if they take Ginty? I think that would be.
To me, it makes sense. I mean, you traded out at number 2, knowing you weren't going to get Travis.
I think you got to take the best available edge rusher. I think
but Abdul's not going to be there. I mean, maybe he will. Maybe he will.
Maybe he will.
Giants skip him.
I don't know.
That's the thing, though. That's the thing. This is all contingent because I would be shocked if the Patriots changed plan at all. I think that makes sense for them. That's a good pick for them. Okay,
going
cool.
O-line.
Going O-line. Yep, you already have a quarterback. You're good to go there. The Giants are the one here that's going to throw the wrench into things because if you're the Jags, you're trading up to get Travis Hunter. If the Giants go quarterback, shock the world, and take Jaxson Dart, I'm telling you, if you're the Browns sitting there at 5, you're really going to skip over Ashton Ginty.
Yeah.
You're really not going to draft Ginty right there.
I don't know. I don't know why you would take a running back over edge, O-line. I mean, this tells me the Browns either like a quarterback, just not with the number 2 pick, and they wanted an extra first.
Yeah.
I think this is a real wild card.
This is exactly what I'm talking about, dude. This right here, this situation playing out is exactly what I'm talking about with people's, reputations and legacies are on the line right here. Because that number 5 pick for the Browns is super risky.
Man, Browns fans are pissed. That trade tells me why aren't they trying to win right now? God, Andrew Berry sucks.
Yeah.
Screw Andrew Berry.
Yeah.
Fire Andrew Berry.
Yeah.
What a POS you are, Andrew Berry. Oh, my God.
And there it is. The Jags are taking Travis Hunter.
Of course they are. Of course they are.
So that's done.
Oh, my. Now what do the flipping New York Giants do?
Okay.
Because they control the draft right now.
Okay, so pull up the Jags real quick.
Yep.
Let's add Travis Hunter to their offense.
Okay.
And let's see how that looks because so you have Trevor Lawrence, obviously.
I think if I look at them and they're obviously this is a team that's in the AFC South and you start looking at Travis Etienne Jr. at running back, Brian Thomas, Gabe Davis, Damani Brown, Travis Hunter starting there.
Yeah.
There's no doubt about that. Where does he start at corner for them? Does Campbell or Ventrell Miller lose their job? They need depth at corner. They really don't have I said Ventrell Miller, Jerry and Jones. They don't have I think they need that desperately. I think the Patriots are staying put. I want to know what the New York Giants are doing. Yes. That's the one that I think you have to have some idea of where they're going. Because I think if you are
Jordan Schultz just tweeted that the trades are about to begin.
I mean, I'm not surprised by that. I'm not surprised by that at all. Are you? I certainly am not. I mean, and there's nobody talking about what the Giants are going to do right now. So it's going to be really interesting to see.
Do they trade out? Man.
I don't know. I think this is going to be one of the most fascinating 20 minutes in the history of the NFL. I just
want to see what this Giants pick is. I'm with you.
I think this Giants pick right now, Shedeur Sanders is sitting there. If you were going to draft a quarterback, a franchise quarterback, how are you not?
Yeah.
Jaguars are expected to play their first-round draft pick, Travis Hunter, on offense and defense. They will onboard him by giving him a heavy dose of wide receiver position, playing him at his more natural position of defense. 2 positions in one.
Now, my only question for him is, can he stay healthy? My only question. He proved at the college level he could, but the NFL is a different beast.
All right, screw it. If you're the New York Giants, don't you have to trade out here? Oh, and look at him dance. Travis looks good, dude. Travis looks really good.
And
if you're the New York Giants, do you trade this pick?
Nah, I think you got to get a quarterback, dude.
If you're the Raiders or if you are the Saints, how are you not burning the phone lines to the New York Giants?
Yeah.
How are you not absolutely burning up the phone lines right now?
Yeah, let's just head over to Schefter's Twitter because you know that's where this is going to break.
Well, I'm waiting on it, and I don't see that he has tweeted that. I don't see that he's tweeted anything, frankly, at this point. Jay Glazer has nothing. This is going to be a fascinating. I'm telling you, history. You remember this at 8:25 Eastern on Thursday, April 24th. The Monty Show told you history will be made right now. This is going to be one of, I think this, if the Giants draft anything other than a quarterback, they should have traded the pick.
Yeah.
You should have traded the pick.
I mean, mess this up?
I don't know. I mean,
they have 4 minutes to make this pick.
And no trade has been announced.
So do we get Jaxson Dart here?
I don't know. This is fascinating, you guys. I think Travis Hunter's the best player in the draft, and the Jacksonville Jaguars just got him.
Yeah.
I think that's a huge pickup for them. But you need to somehow, some way get the best available talent here. Because
dude, this is wild. There's only 3 minutes left for them to make this pick.
And no trade has been announced.
Like, so it appears that they're picking here.
I mean, if you're picking here, you're either taking a quarterback or Abdul Carter. What other choices are there?
Abdul Carter here. If you're picking here, you're taking a quarterback.
You're not, so you wouldn't take Abdul Carter here.
No.
I think it's quarterback or Abdul Carter. What else would you even do?
No. What I'm saying is I would only take quarterback here. If I'm going to pick here, I'm taking a quarterback. That's the level of player you would pick here.
I would trade this pick.
If you take defense, you're making a mistake, in my opinion. I just think that's not the right way to go about it.
I really like the way this has played out. All three teams have done the right thing so far. The Browns, Jags, and Titans all did the right thing so far. And we're just sitting here waiting. No trade has been announced. This
reeks of pick is in, and they traded the pick. That it's not going to be announced ahead of time.
The pick is in. They're taking Abdul Carter. Who do you guys think they take here? I mean, and the NFL is notorious for not allowing this stuff to get out ahead of time.
Who the hell are they taking?
It has to be Abdul Carter, right? You're telling me it's not Abdul Carter. I don't even know. What are you thinking?
I think that's a mistake. Like, you can't take Abdul.
You don't think so?
And they did. God damn it. They did. The Giants have taken Abdul Carter.
I think that's a
That's a mistake. I am sorry. That is a mistake.
What do you guys think? Get in the comments section. They're taking Abdul Carter.
That is an absolute mistake, in my opinion.
Well, I mean, he absolutely is a position of need, isn't he? I mean, he's not a quarterback, and he's probably.
It's not really about Abdul. He's going to be a great player wherever he goes, and I'm sure he'll contribute for them. He'll have an immediate impact. I understand. But I'm just telling you, bro, you're drafting at number 3 overall, and you took defense. Like, that's not, no.
And now the Patriots will go offensive line. I
just disagree with the philosophy.
Man,
here.
You're really disappointed.
I am. Yeah, I am. I disagree with the philosophy. I don't think that, and listen, the Giants have had Hall of Fame level defenders. I get it. I totally get it. But
him and Kayvon Thibodeau?
Yeah. You chose to go Russell Wilson.
Famous Jameis.
And crab leg stealer. And you drafted Abdul. I guess I just disagree with that plan. I really thought that you would either trade out or take a young quarterback. I understand you probably can't have 3 quarterbacks on your roster at once. That financially doesn't make a lot of sense. I get it. But it's the New York Giants. How long are you going to go without having a franchise quarterback, dude?
Yeah.
Like, how long are you going to go without, you know what I mean? Like at what point do you fix that?
Where their second pick, the Giants' second pick here in the first round, I'm curious to see if they get back. I mean, that doesn't surprise me at all. I don't hate this the way you hate it. I would have to believe the Giants are going to try and trade back into the first round for a quarterback.
I guess.
I mean, because there's a lot of teams at the bottom of the first round that'll have value. But if you're the Steelers at 21, doesn't it look like you're getting Shedeur Sanders, or he'll be there for you?
Yeah, it does.
I mean, I would think.
It does.
I would think. And by the way, I think it's important. Travis Hunter says he had zero conversation and had not heard from the Jaguars since the combine. So that was a complete shocker that they did that. But
must feel good that they did it, though.
Gabriel, what will the Browns do? That's the one.
This is, yeah.
You're certain it's
I think if you're the Browns, yeah, because I just think if you're trading back, I mean, I don't disagree. They have needs, but if you're number 5 overall in the draft, like, do I just not get this? Like, do I just not understand this? Like,
I think that's possible. Yes.
Like, you're choosing number 5 overall in the draft, and you're going trenches.
No, you need to get. Well, you got to get an edge rusher, and I think now
the best edge rusher in the draft is gone. Like,
well, now it's Mikael Williams who. Excuse me. It's not like Mikael Williams. Mikael Williams is some pushover.
Yeah.
I mean, if you look at the guys that are, Shamar Stewart certainly is a guy that you like a lot.
Rossini is reporting right now that the Browns are on the phone with a trade.
That would not. That's the Chicago Bears. That's the Bears, the Raiders, or the Saints? That's all it can be. That is all that it can be. I cannot believe.
Diana Rossini. Cleveland Browns are taking calls from teams interested in the number 5 pick. I'm told they're open to moving down again.
And it makes a lot of sense if they can. They're stockpiling picks, which makes a lot of sense.
I can understand that. Yeah,
because they're going to get a pick in the top 10 here.
Yeah,
right. They're not. I'm telling you, it's not Chinty. I think that they're going to trade out. I think this could
I would love it to be the Bears.
I think this could be.
I would
the Raiders or the Saints. Raiders, Saints, and Bears, because the Saints need the best available quarterback, and I'm telling you.
So is this where we get Shedeur?
No, I think this is where we get Jaxson Dart to the Saints. I think that's absolutely a possibility. I think we are going to see offensive line go to I think you got to take offensive line if you are New England, don't you? I mean, how do you take anything other than offensive line with that quarterback?
Yeah, I agree.
Right? I mean, that's all I know. Like, there's no other way to do that, in my opinion. Right? And I mean,
yeah, there it is. The Patriots are taking Will Campbell.
Yeah. The Patriots are taking Will. You have to.
Yeah, I mean, that made
you
perfect
have
sense,
to, right? And now
so now we get to the goods.
Now again, we get to the Cleveland Browns again at number 5. And I think that this is where stuff gets crazy. Because I think if you are the Cleveland Browns and you have the ability to pick up another pick, and if you are the New Orleans Saints, this feels like the Saints making a move.
Yeah.
That's what this feels like to me. They have the 9th pick. They have the 8th pick of the 2nd round.
By the way, Shedeur's still not on his couch.
He is still not on his couch. So I think this is going to be very, very interesting. And you notice that Ian Rappaport from NFL Network is not live tweeting the draft. He's tweeting, but he is forbidden from live tweeting the draft. He gets all of the picks ahead of time. So he's already got, I'm guessing he already knows what's happening, but this is going to be fascinating to watch.
Yeah.
This is going to be fascinating to watch.
I just want to see this pick. I just want to see this one. And then.
All right. What do you guys think? What do you guys think the Browns are going to do?
It seems like they're going to trade out. I think the question is going to be, Who is it?
I think it's Raiders, Saints, or Bears.
Man, I want it to be the Bears so bad, dude.
I think if you're the Raiders or the Saints, don't you make this move?
Yeah.
I mean, if you're the Raiders or the Saints and you're looking at the Raiders are at 6, I think that limits the window for them to trade up to 5. I think the Raiders are going to take Shedeur Sanders. That's my opinion. I think the Saints at 9 are the most likely team to be trading into the 5th spot with the Browns. And I think that they are doing that to draft Jaxson Dart. I think it's the only way to ensure you get the guy you want. And I don't necessarily believe they're worried that much.
Yeah.
Big Blue Horse is not certain Nolan needs to move to get a good QB at 9. It's not that you need to move. You can't afford not to move because you have a lot of fluid pieces around you. We'll see. Gabriel, Andrew Berry masterclass right now. He's playing chess where everyone else is playing checkers, and I'm not even a Browns fan. We're going to find out because if they trade this pick, you are going to have some very pissed off Browns fans. And I think it is
Dan Orlovsky.
Yes.
Browns should 100% draft a QB tonight now, later round 1. And if you think he stinks, you have 2 first-rounders next year to get another quarterback.
But that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. They should absolutely draft a quarterback. And I think it is it's got to be the Saints that are making this deal. The Bears, I think, are in position now where they know the Jets are not taking running back. Carolina's not taking running back.
Yeah.
The Bears are in position to get Ashton Shinty here without making a move.
Yeah.
Which is fascinating because the Browns are at 5. The Raiders are at 6. The Raiders have a huge quarterback need or a huge running back need, excuse me.
Yeah.
So I could absolutely see the Bears worried about that. This feels like the Saints all day because I think they know the Raiders are going to take Shedeur or Jaxson at 6.
Yep.
This feels like the New Orleans Saints to me.
Moving up to ensure it.
Yes, I think that's exactly what you're seeing. And who knows what we get here, but
come on, Twitter, give it to me. I want
we
it.
are sitting here. We are waiting.
Ready.
And the other thing that you got to remember is I don't know that anybody knows. Because it is not leaked yet, which tells me the conversations are ongoing and they are fluid. I don't know that the Browns know who it is yet because they've got a second here. Because the Patriots have to announce.
Have taken Mason Graham.
They draft Mason. They don't trade out.
What are we doing?
The Browns did not trade out. Wow.
Yeah, you can put all that masterclass crap behind you now.
I'm a little surprised by this. Mason Graham's going to be a hell of a player.
Yeah, but
he is a hell of a player. And
wow, dude.
Ooh, I'm really surprised. Okay. Now I think we're on are the Raiders taking quarterback here? Now, because now I think we get a very interesting. Now we get a very interesting look at what the Raiders are going to do. Why are you so surprised about Mason Graham?
Because I just think this is why I do a show. I'm not an executive. You took Mason Graham when you could have traded down and stockpiled.
You should have traded.
Like I don't know.
You should have traded the pick. I agree with that.
I don't know what
I completely agree with that.
What the thought process is there. I don't know.
100%. I agree with that.
Yeah.
The Brown. I think. I fully. Who tweeted that, by the way? That it's Mason Graham.
Jordan Schultz.
Yeah. Do the Raiders take a quarterback? Well, Johnny Gonzalez, you know what the biggest problem is? And you got buried there a little bit. What are the Steelers thinking? The Steelers are thinking, damn, I wish we had more ammunition to make a trade.
Seriously.
Because the quarterback they want is there. That's Sergeant Crean's not happy. What are you not happy about, Sergeant Crean? Dib says Las Vegas goes line. Well, the best lineman in the draft just went away on both sides of the ball, with Mason Graham being taken by the Browns here, according to Jordan Schultz. I think that's a very interesting. The Raiders now control the draft in a lot more ways than you realize.
Yeah.
The Raiders control this draft. I hate this by the Cleveland Browns.
Me too.
I hate this. I really wish that they had drafted. I really wish they had traded the pick or drafted a quarterback. But,
yeah.
You've got 2 picks now at the top of the second round. Do you turn that into a quarterback at the end of the first round?
I guess. I don't know, man. I'm really conflicted on it. I guess so. Yeah. Yeah, you do. You do. You got to draft a quarterback because you have Joe at the helm there, but it's ripe to have a young guy sit behind him.
This is the exact, by the way, not to, screw the pooch here, but this is the exact right pick. Will Campbell anchors your left side and takes excuses away from Drake May. And with Campbell and Morgan Moses, and that offensive line is going to be pretty solid. And I would guess they're pretty happy with it. The Browns pick is in, so it is going to be Mason Graham, which is a huge pickup for them. Yeah. Mason Graham is absolutely the right pick there. I think that's, Sergeant Green. Mason Graham, I guess we have our future Hall of Fame quarterback. Kenny Pickett, but Sergeant Green, you're going to get a quarterback here.
Yeah.
My question is, what will the Las Vegas Raiders do? Because if you're the Raiders, you're not going to pick Shedeur Sanders here? Is that what you're telling me?
Man.
You're not going to pick Shedeur Sanders here?
I don't know.
I find that hard to believe, that he has fallen into your lap. The quarterback that you said you loved, and you're telling me you're not going to take him.
I would be surprised.
I would be very surprised.
Very surprised.
And the draft, as we are looking at it, with Cam Ward, Travis Hunter, Abdul Carter third to the Giants, and Will Campbell now fourth to the Patriots, Mason Graham off the board at 5 to the Browns. I think the Raiders have to take Shedeur Sanders here. You have to do it. How do you do anything else?
Yeah.
How do you do anything else?
I completely agree with you.
Johnny Gonzalez, Tom Brady and Sanders in one building feels too top heavy. Ginty to the Raiders. Yeah, I don't think that you can do that. I don't think that you can't draft running back when you don't have a quarterback. I just don't think you can do that. And I understand that their need is running back. Yeah. But yeah,
it makes too much sense to draft Shedeur here not to do it. At some point you have to have, I understand that Gino's there and, you have a guy, but again, the formula of, and we've talked about this so much, the formula of have your young draft picks sit behind an established veteran who can teach them is well laid out.
But is Gino a guy that takes away the ability to draft Shedeur Sanders?
No, I don't think so. No. Nope. I don't think so, because Gino's not an MVP guy. Gino's not a Super Bowl winner. Gino is just a solid quarterback in the NFL that you can play with.
Boy, I hate that the Browns drafted Mason Graham.
Yeah, I don't get it.
Yeah,
I really don't get it.
Yeah, I don't know, man. I hate it.
The Raiders have taken Ashton Ginty.
It's a smart pick. I understand it. All right.
Wow. Wow, bro.
The Monty Show, as always, presented by the Advocates at theadvocates.com. What will the Chicago Bears do? I'm going to go. I'm going to head back to the crib. I'm going to watch the drafts.
Yeah.
The Advocates at theadvocates.com. Thank you so much for donating. Until Monday, say goodbye, Jake.
Goodbye, Jake.